With your jersey.
We can talk about it. What's up, Falcons fans, and welcome to another episode of Talking Birdy, an Atlanta Falcons podcast powered by SportsTalkATL.com. I am your host, Matt Carley. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Carley, Carley spelled Karoly, and I'm joined as always by my two co-hosts from the Sports Talk ATL team, Jake Gordon. You can find him on Twitter at Can't Guard Jake, and Alex Lord. You can find him on Twitter at Go Sports Talk, Go spelled Geaux. We're coming to you live, first time ever, Thursday night football, Falcons, Patriots, Falcons only primetime night game of the season. So we figured we'd do something a little special. Also thought it made sense just because, it didn't make sense to record an episode after that drubbing last week against the Cowboys. Not much to say about that. Falcons, simply put, got knocked out in the first round of that fight and never got up. So we're going to turn the page on that, burn the tape. It's a whole new game. Certainly some not great news, though. Prior to this game, Cordero Patterson, the Falcons' electric offensive playmaker this season, team MVP, arguably, will miss this game with a sprained ankle. Shortly before that, I think it was the day before, Hayden Hurst was placed on IR. So, two of Matt Ryan's top 4 to 5 weapons will not be in this game. Factor in Calvin Ridley's absence the last couple of weeks as he deals with mental health. It's going to be tough sledding, and it could get ugly quickly. Hopefully not. I'm a little bit more optimistic than most, but we wanted to do a special episode. Kind of the inspiration here is the Manning casts. I've enjoyed them thoroughly. I know a lot of people have this Monday night, so we wanted to do something similar where we get a great guest on each quarter to talk about the game, and we have a really great one for this first quarter. We had him on a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to get him on and just, kind of that last time we had a lot of guests on, a lot of voices. This time I want to get his own spotlight. So we're welcoming Eric Robinson. Eric, appreciate having you. I know, you're in that camp that is not very optimistic about this game, and we were talking pre-show about kind of all of the reasons why maybe we shouldn't be optimistic, and the stars are aligning in a weird way. And I'll kind of let you have the floor if you want to get into some of the reasons why you think this could be bad.
There are times in life where signs are going to be obvious, and there are times in life where things are just going to be presented to you in a unique type of way. And of course, coming into tonight's game, Falcons Patriots Thursday night game, coming off a 40-point loss, I started noticing just the little things surrounding this particular game that just made me feel like, okay, this is not going to be their night. For one, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are on the call for tonight. Of course, those were the announcers for Super Bowl 51. So you can imagine we're going to hear about 28-3 every 5 minutes because of those two guys, especially Joe Buck, because we all know once he gets bored of a game, he kind of just gets a little sarcastic and things of that nature. So not only that, but saw a tweet earlier today that The Athletic put out that I didn't expect The Athletic to put out, but they did. So there's supposed to be a scheduled partial lunar eclipse tonight, and it's supposed to last in exactly 3 hours and 20 minutes. Again, on the night of Falcons Patriots. Of course, as you already mentioned, there's no Cordero Patterson. There's no Hayden Hurst. Those guys are out tonight. Of course, the Patriots, they have 5 inactives, but it's 5 players who don't even get in the game anyway. So everybody's back healthy for them. It's just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to put this out there, but just to add to it, I usually introduce every episode telling what number episode this is. And I didn't want to do it tonight because it's not a great omen, but this is episode 28 of Talking Birdy. So, I immediately think, I saw before we went on the air, saw the Fox hype video. It's all about the Patriots. It's all about Bill Belichick. Is there even another team playing in this game? So I got to believe you're going to hear the Super Bowl talk by Buck and Aikman, and, hopefully they keep it under 5 times, but certainly not optimistic about that. But yeah, guys, Jake, what are your thoughts? I know, in our private chat, you think the Falcons are going to cover. I believe it's 6.5 points. Do you still feel that way?
Don't start putting words in my mouth. I said statistically they have a chance to cover because of the trends that have been going on this year against teams that don't cover, against teams that do cover, are like 41-19 against the spread, and they went 7-0 last week. So I said that I don't know if they're going to cover. I hope they cover, but if they don't cover, Vegas is going to lose a lot of money because I guarantee the public's probably 95% on the Patriots right now.
Yeah, I think I was the one who said that they would cover. I put some action on the spread, and I sprinkled a little bit on the money line just because, just what Eric said, everything's going against the Falcons. And this is what's so great about the NFL is, just when you expect the team that's supposed to win and, it just doesn't happen. I love that about the NFL. So it seems like the exact type of game the Falcons should compete in. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I really do believe they'll cover. I did say that before the Cordero news broke, and maybe I'll change. I would have changed, but I have to stick to it now because I already bet the line. I'm sure it jumped up when Cordero, when the news broke. I'm sure it jumped up at least half a point. Yeah,
maybe. I would have thought though that Vegas would have been factoring that in from the get-go because I really wasn't too optimistic that Patterson was going to play. It's kind of a high ankle sprain, and you don't really recover from those in 3-4 days. So
I was surprised actually that they were just 6.5 point underdogs based on what we saw Sunday. The Patriots had their own blowout. Where they won by 38. The Falcons lost by 40, but yet here
because what was the Dallas game? The Dallas game was like 9.5, right?
It was like 9.5, yeah.
So like, why would this one be any different?
Lower?
Maybe home field is worth 3 points, but the Falcons don't really have a home field advantage. Haven't won a home game all season.
They don't.
Short week, travel time. Everything like that, you got to factor in that. Both of these teams are on a short week in Vegas. I'm pretty sure they put a lot of weight into the travel day. So the Patriots had to travel one day, which is one less day they had to prepare as a team than the Falcons did. So maybe that has factored into the
because usually they say that's kind of worth 3 points, right? I'm not big into all that stuff, but that's the only thing that I can think of. But for me. Again, we've seen this narrative before, and I know it's a new regime, but how many times have we seen the Falcons, counted out or, knocked out the week prior, and then they come back and they're competitive? This team does their best work, I think, when they're underdogs, when people don't expect much from them. When we raise the bar and we set those expectations high, it's when we're ultimately disappointed, right? So while I'm not going to say they're going to win this game, and, while I think that line's pretty fair, I would be very shocked if we get another 20-point plus loss from the Falcons tonight. We'll see. That's why they play the game. Happening. That's why they play the game. There's a lot of narratives. And that's speaking of that word, watching Arthur Smith's press conferences every week, he must say the word narrative like 5 to 10 times each week. He hates that word. He hates the whole concept of it. And I'm sure he's going to be pretty motivated coming into this one. And, look, they brought him in here because he's supposed to be this offensive guru and mastermind, be able to, game plan when you don't always have your best weapons.
He can hate the word all he wants, but he has to embrace it, and he has to understand why that narrative is even in place. Come on. Even being a longtime coach in the league, the type of reputation that the Falcons have. Even watching from afar, you know who they are and what people and teams and opposing coaches, what they think of the Falcons. So, yeah, you can hate that word all you want, but you have to understand, there's a reason why people look at the Falcons a certain way. There's a reason why they're a punching bag, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, we talked about this off air, I think, after the first week or two of this, or I think it was after the Washington game, right?
Yeah.
When, they basically showed the same old Falcons,
the same narrative that you wanted to get away from.
And he played conservative, just like the old Falcons did when they got a lead, and look what happened. So,
and look what happened.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You have to have that awareness, if for no other narrative, that one, because there is a stigma around this team and this organization for the last decade or so. Now, it's another conversation that we can get into as far as, when will this team ever overcome that hurdle? And I guess you don't overcome it until you kind of win the big one. Look at the Braves. Braves had their own demons, and they finally
overcome the stigma of the Super Bowl, or just
just in general. I guess they go hand in hand, though, don't they?
I wouldn't say so. Because a lot of fans wanted to look at the Saints game as a game where they, quote unquote, broke the curse, where they let up a lead and yet they still won the game. Me personally, if there's anything you want to look at to say, hey, they broke the curse, is when they have those games where they have the big lead and they don't relinquish the lead. When it's a 27-7 score in the fourth quarter and the game ends 27-7. That's when you can look at it like, okay, this narrative is really changing now. But until then, I don't think you can really say. And the Super Bowl, that's, man, I see where you're going with it though, Matt. That's just such a high hurdle to try to clear for a team.
Real quick, I need y'all to look at Trent Brown when you get a chance. He looks like the world's biggest elementary school kid. He has like the untucked shirt. His socks are pulled all the way down, and he's wearing black cleats. He looks hilarious. That's not pass interference. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's a look right there. He's the not high socks too. Like,
that's fine, is it not?
Is that
what?
Is that
are you guys on? I'm curious what streams.
Yeah,
I'm on Hulu. I'm on Hulu.
Yeah, likewise. So I guess that's something, hopefully
so what just happened?
Up and run.
What just happened?
It's 3rd and 4 right now for me.
Okay, I'm ahead of you guys. This is going to be so annoying.
Mine's 1st and 10.
I'm not. I'm still looking at Joe Buck.
Yeah, so me and Eric are on the same page. Probably Jake and Alex. You guys are they really call PI on that?
Yeah.
They really called that's
solid
defense. Is it? I guess maybe the replay.
We got there early.
Well, I got to see the replay, I guess.
They don't need any help. Not tonight.
Yeah, I guess
these jerseys are so sick. They should wear these every game.
I think the Patriots ones look really good too.
I feel like they're wasting these jerseys.
It's prime time. It's prime time. I gotta wear them.
I love that they went to the matted helmet for this too. I think that cranks it up just a little bit extra too.
Yes, I love the matted helmet look. I really.
N'Keal Harry's getting burned.
Can one of you guys check to see we are live on YouTube, right? I'm hoping the comments section starts to get going too at some point.
I posted the link on Twitter for the YouTube.
Yeah, just so people know, Eric and I stream's gonna be a little bit behind, so I guess our commentary will be delayed, but
pretty much
when something happens, you'll it'll add to the entertainment value maybe.
Our YouTube live,
we're good. We're live on YouTube.
Yeah, I see it,
and also on the Sports Talk ATL Twitter as well.
All right, that's a stop. They might go for it. I think they should go for it, but I don't know if they will.
I'm on 2nd and 9 still. Jeez, freaking Hulu, man! You pay $77 for the live TV and the
free delayed. Yeah,
and it goes up every year too, by like $5 to $10. Like, really? When's it gonna stop?
I just started.
I thought about that earlier.
Oh yeah, get used to that. I like it, but I wish I was more live and
right.
The fact that it
right.
So, do you think that the run defense is a product of opposing offenses attacking the weak secondary, or is this a good run defense?
Secondary,
the first one.
Secondary.
See, I don't know, because wouldn't that have to mean that there's light boxes, like, and that's the reason they're having success? I don't think there's been lighter boxes. I just think, Deion Jones is a great example, and I think he might have made the stop, might have made could play there. But Deion Jones has not been good, and
he has definitely been.
His run fits can be atrocious at times, and
his tackling attempts can be atrocious.
Yeah,
as well.
that too. I mean, he doesn't show the effort sometimes. He showed it there, and it looks like they got the stop. We'll see, unless they did a fake punt here. Hopefully not.
Yeah, probably.
Nah, Falcons starting inside of like the 6, maybe.
Okay. Wow. All right, they got to stop.
Matt, what's going on with your jersey? You look like a goofball.
So this is a combo. Deion Jones or not Deion Jones. Deion Sanders. The 60. It's like the 1966 and the 1980s one. Not a fan of it? You don't like the combo?
I thought that was like exclusively reserved for moms with 2 sons in the NFL.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. All right. Touche. Now, I would have loved to wear my actual throwback Julio Jones, but it still hurts. Can't do it. Sorry. Can't.
So, I mean...
Chase is getting in his bag about Arthur Blank again. Here we go. Just for the record, that's not me. As an owner of the Packers, I respect Arthur Blank as a fellow owner.
Your fellow owners.
Yeah. Equals.
We got our first commenter, MJ04 MJ. What's going on? Thanks for joining the show. Yeah, I mean, getting to stop early. We'll see. Falcons are backed up. Now you're playing a field position game.
So, Young Thug is at the game tonight. That's encouraging, I guess.
He's making his rounds. He went to the Hawks game the other night.
Did they win?
Yes, is Bloopy gonna be in attendance? I saw Freddie Falcon said there's a special guest tonight. I figured that's
he's been texting us the videos of him and the
talk about someone making his rounds. He's going on quite the victory tour. He's
having a great time.
He's living life. He's
enjoying himself.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. No spoilers unless someone told you happen.
Honestly, man, tonight has, and I'm not even going to expect it, to be honest with you, because I already know just how Bill Belichick rolls. But we got to see a big game from Kyle Pitts tonight in order for the Falcons to have any kind of chance.
Quick guess, first play. What do y'all got? First play.
A deep shot.
Crosser.
Probably a run to Mike Davis.
Yeah, if you guessed run up the middle with Mike Davis for no gain, you can collect your tickets at the front desk. But go ahead, Eric.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, if there's ever a day for Mike Davis to finally show up and break out, it needs to be tonight. Him and Russell Gage, those two guys, yeah, definitely. But we expected to be big contributors, haven't done so. They need to step up now in the absence of Cordell Patterson.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be a safety.
That's a safety. They gave up 2 points already.
Holding in the. It looks like holding in the end zone. So.
Awesome. Yeah.
I still haven't seen the run up the middle yet. I'm about to see it now. Joy.
That's not a safety. You can't get a safety from a holding call.
But see, I'm prepared. I already got my.
Is the holding the end zone not a safety?
I thought
intentional grounding.
I thought any penalty in the end zone by the offense is considered a safety.
It's not a safety, but I'm pretty sure it is.
No.
How that
intentional grounding is the only penalty that'll cause.
Okay,
that's safety. Actually the type of zone read run you want to see. He had the cutback lane, and Cordero I think would have hit that. Yeah, he's been a little slow to hit the holes, and indecisive too at times. Like I was a supporter of the signing, but it's been wasted money.
Hey, there's Kyle.
Oh geez. Wait.
I really would have liked to given Cordero that contract.
You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah. If we could have flip-flopped those deals now. In
a heartbeat.
Because Cordero's really
So what do you think? Is he just gonna go hit the art? He's gonna test the market, I assume,
I think he's gonna be back. I think the team is going to give him a 3-year deal. My thing is this is really, he's been in the league for 9 years. This is really the first time he's ever truly been
Well, and that's why I think he's going to want to hit the market for that reason.
What other team is going to want to? What other teams are really going to want to do that? For
Kyle Shanahan? If Kyle Shanahan can get 2 Deebo Samuel type players,
he already has one.
Yeah, but get 2. What's better than 1? 2 of those.
Yeah, he's.
I think what's happening.
What was it, interception?
No, it could be a block punt.
Almost.
I think what Arthur Smith is showing is this positionless football. I think is going to be more prevalent now. You're going to try to find. It's almost like the NBA. NBA became positionless basketball. You're going to try to find players that can do what Cordero Patterson, what Deebo Samuel. But Wan'Dale Robinson's a guy I know we both like.
Right.
Those types of guys I think are going to be in vogue.
The unique thing with him is that he's 30. He's at an age where teams may be a little warranted as far as giving him a 3 or 4 year
but
deal.
You made the point yourself, I think, on Twitter. He doesn't have the same wear and tear as a normal 30-year-old has.
He doesn't. And I think that a combination of him being utilized the way he is by Arthur Smith, already giving him a shot, him actually being from Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is only 3 hours away. He's big on family. He may kind of sort of give him a little hometown deal.
Well, he said that comment about, he loves it here. He wants to be here. He said that, which is not weird, but unexpected.
Yeah. So it's I feel like if they give him a reasonable enough deal where he feels that, he's valued by the organization, I think he'll stay. I think he'll give him an opportunity.
That's just pretty rare in the NFL nowadays.
It is. It's pretty rare. Yeah. And he has a ring. So it's not as if he's going to be bouncing to the Rams or the Bucks to chase a ring. He has a Super Bowl championship already.
No, and you brought up the point. He wants to be in Atlanta. So I mean they got that going for him.
Yeah.
I just think I don't think they're going to get it done like later this season. I really do think he's going to test the round, and then I hope you're right. I hope they do bring him back. I'm thinking like a 3-year, $15 million, $5 million per year is what I don't buy the spot track. Spot track has them at like 2 or 3. I know, Alex, you wrote an article about it. So I don't agree with their valuation.
I explored this entire idea that,
2 to 3 million per. Yeah. I don't
he's making 3 already this year.
Yeah.
So it's the same exact deal, except it's like $125,000 more a year, and it's a 2-year deal. So it's really the same deal.
What Spot Track does is they look at guys like in the same age or the same similarities,
that's how they build it.
But yeah, you can't. I mean, you got to take it on a case by case basis, and you're exactly right. He's making $3 million now, and he's balling. He's a Pro Bowler. He's an all purpose guy.
I said around $6 million. So you and I are kind of sort of in the same.
I could see it.
I said around 6. So I'll be comfortable with that.
I mean, they're going to have to structure it, like a lot of contracts where, the first year is kind of low. It's like 2 to 3 million. And then it escalates and, maybe it really just boils down to a 2-year deal and you get out in the 3rd year. But
with him and with the type of play he has, you can really make his contract incentive based and kind of, lighten the load a little bit. Like, hey, if you reach 500 scrimmage yards or 800 scrimmage yards or whatever, then boom, an extra X $100,000 or whatever.
No, that is a very incentive. I can see
right.
Them
you can do that with him because of how he's going to be used next year, and again, that's probably going to make him, want to stay and want to pursue that. We'll see, but I think he's back next year.
So I love Kyle Duggar. I love Kyle Duggar, and I can't believe he just made that play on Kyle Pitts. I mean, he was beat off the line of scrimmage and then recovered. Well,
Duggar is a freak in his own right. Duggar tested really well.
Right. I love Kyle Duggar.
Yeah, it's good to see him. A small school guy finally.
Duggar and Jeremy Chin, they got a lot of
their entire secondary. Their entire secondary is sick, sick. I mean, They let Stephon Gilmore go, and they just don't even care. I mean, it doesn't even affect them. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Well, J.C. Jackson, I mean, he's a guy that I would have loved it for them to try to pry away.
Matt and I were like, man,
it would have been so great.
There's one
if in a Julio deal, they could have gave J.C. Jackson for Julio and maybe you get a late round pick.
Oh my God,
that'd been great.
I would have taken that in a heartbeat.
Because like the thing was, J.C. Jackson's still only on he's on that restricted free agent contract. So 1 year, $3 million. You get him while he's cheap, and then either because it's unlikely they would have been able to keep him because he's going to get paid.
Oh, he's going to get money. And
but they could have got a comp pick.
Richie Grant just fucked up.
Oh,
fuck! Come on, Richie.
I mean, unless y'all are going to see this run fit come in, and he took inside. He definitely had outside.
He took the inside. Yeah. Come on, Richie.
He can't do that. He's just trying to make a play. He's just trying to make a play.
I hate seeing James Vaughters out in coverage. He's not that. He's not really an outside linebacker type.
Well, good news for you is they have 2 tight ends that they paid a lot of money. So
they're gonna.
There's Johnny Smith just came. He was hurt, I think, too. That was the other thing is Patriots are getting healthy now too for the most part. I think Johnny Smith coming back. Chase Winovich.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots made the AFC Championship.
Well, people are certainly buying that right now. Yeah, you're not alone there.
I'm still a Buffalo believer
because the AFC, all right, yeah. Let's talk about that. Might as well. Oh, geez.
All right. Well, Richie Grant's getting real snaps right now, so this is something. So this is awesome.
Ramondre. Well, I think the only reason he is because Jalen Hawkins was out.
Yeah,
which that was something that they didn't really. Well, yeah, but.
Fuck, man. Sorry.
Yeah, he was in there, and
no, that's not. Yeah, you'll see.
No, I'm reliving the Richie Grant play.
I think you're one play ahead of me, Jake.
Okay.
Did you just watch that third down? Is that what? Oh, bro, he is Brady. Yeah, he is Brady. He's better than Brady.
Oh my God, we're doing. Oh man,
these early snaps for Richie, he kind of sort of needs to get him out of the way, but at the same time, it's this is why.
Well, the thing is what's the long term plan with him? Because right now they're having him playing as a nickel back.
I think it's
and that's not the long term plan for him, right?
It's not, but you see what he can bring to the table, what he can provide for you, especially in this particular defense. If it's a situation where you need someone in a pinch to play
he's coming on the blitz.
Some nickel corner,
he's got that punch though. I think he's going to get a lot. He's going to rack up some forced fumbles in his career, I think.
Dude, that's the thing with him, man. And you throw on the UCF tape, the kid was always around the football. Always. Just about every time UCF had a turnover, Richie was involved somehow.
I love him. I love
him too.
There's no reason to give up on him. I mean, complex defense, he'll figure it out.
And look, don't. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want people to get because I put the tweet out there last week and. I don't want.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Well, I don't want people to think I'm giving up on him, but again, I mean, you can't say it's not concerning, right, guys? I mean, our whole thought going in was he was going to play, and now he's the fourth safety.
But I don't think I don't think it's because his inability of anything. I think it's mainly because of who the DC is. Again, this is the old school DC, and he doesn't believe in playing young players or rookies considerable amount of snaps. Now, you brought up the example of Avery Williams getting snaps and things of that nature, but they were resorted to do that because when Oliver went down, they didn't have Oliver, they didn't have Kendall Sheffield.
But the counter to the Avery Williams stuff is that you can play Richie Grant in that role because we just talked about it. He does provide that versatility. So that's why if Avery Williams
you don't want to have Richie Grant out there against Dallas with 3 wide receivers deep. You want a cornerback out there. And in certain situations, whereas the Patriots are coming out in much more 2-3 tight end sets.
But you don't think your top 40 player over the guy who's picked 180 or whatever should give you a better chance against those Dallas receivers?
In a situation where they were last week, to be quite honest with you, I would have rather seen Richie matched up against CD. I would have I think
Yeah,
CD would have still won his fair share of snaps, but I would have felt a little bit better at that point. Like, okay, Richie is going to be able to hold his own because Richie was definitely able to be a little bit more physical than Avery could. So I long term, I think Richie is just going to be an added piece to the defense. I don't think you can really throw a position or a particular role. He's just going to be a guy that's going to be out there.
Jonathan Bullard's having a great game. I mean, he's having a good game so far. Getting really good push.
He better, being the fact that they have 2 healthy scratches at defensive line tonight, which I'm confused as to why.
I mean, Kaminsky, again, he's been a healthy scratch all season, and
but
I don't know what the future.
Marlon Davidson and Tyler Davidson were also healthy scratches tonight. Why?
Oh, is Marlon not on the injury report?
No.
Oh, wow, that's even bigger than the.
Yeah. Why? Why are they healthy scratches? I don't.
Well, Tyler Davidson, I understand. I don't feel like he's been good. I think Rush gives you the same thing that he does. But Marlon Davidson, that is not good. I missed that one.
Yeah, I'm not understanding it.
Because he's supposed to be. You start to look and who's your next best interior pass rusher outside of Grady Jarrett. I mean, Steven Means is on IR. I would have said he would be the next guy, but you don't even have him. So like, this is why the pass rush is what it is. I mean, it was that group to begin with, but
absolutely brutal. Yeah,
it's atrocious now, and Dean Pease has said he doesn't have the full playbook at his disposal. He can't cook up the pass rush. The scheme pressures that he wants to. They're not at that point.
So, those comments that he said, we're doing 25 or 35% of the playbook, whatever he said, that percentage, and, everybody was like, wow, what is going on?
Yeah, it's like 20 to 30 right now, yeah.
What is the difference between, I get it's the first year and everything, but, let's go back to the Patriots or the Ravens. Like, how long did it take them to understand this defense? And I get it. It takes, a whole year to understand any system, offense or defense. But that seems crazy low. That seems crazy low.
I don't think the case is how long did it take to implement the defense. I think that's just a matter of talent deficiency. Honestly, the fact that you have 30% of your playbook in place and it's still not being effective compared to, when he was in New England or when he was in Baltimore, you don't have the bodies, you don't have the athletes. And part of me is looking at the coaching staff and saying, well, you guys kind of sort of knew this coming into the season. You knew that you guys were a little behind when it comes to just pure talent. And you implement 30% of your scheme and it's still not working. So I can understand why you're not going to put in the rest. You're not getting any results with what you have already. But my thing is, you guys knew this coming into the season. There was no way possible you guys to try to make any type of changes as far as getting bodies in or getting extra players. I mean, I know they're in cap hell, quote unquote, but I'll be quite honest with you. The cap is a goddamn myth. Let's just be real here.
Look at the Rams. Look at the Rams.
Well, see,
Matt is shaking. Matt is shaking right now.
Yeah, I take umbrage whenever anybody ever says the cap is a myth because, again,
you're a ones and zeros guy, Matt. You're a ones and zeros guy.
There's ways to manipulate it, but
it is.
Like there is a fine line at times.
There is,
as far as where you can go with it, and the thing with the Falcons. And I think they're the only team in the NFL that didn't do it. They didn't take advantage of the voidable years, which means, those fake years that you can hide cap numbers on for contracts. Every team across the NFL did it this year because of the pandemic. The Falcons didn't, and they had a good reason. I mean, they kind of wanted to take a wait and see approach. They don't want to hurt the future.
Right.
So that's why the Falcons were as tight up against the cap as they are, and it's probably going to be one more year. And 2023 is going to be that year that hopefully
they might have a little wiggle room next year. Just a little.
Yeah, I mean they'll make some moves.
Do you guys know the contracts for the regime, Terry and Arthur?
I don't think that was ever really reported, but I'd guess 5 or 6. That's usually the customary.
I thought it was 5 for.
But I'd probably lean towards it being 5. But I don't think that ever came out.
I don't think I saw it, but that definitely could have an effect on how aggressive a general manager / head coach would be. Let's say you have 4 years. You really don't have that long to prove that you're the guy. Or I guess,
and I'd argue 5 years or not, you don't have a lot of time in the NFL to prove your worth. I think they got to start winning, and that's why they took this win now approach. And that's why I said, like, hey, they're not going to try to tear this thing down because they need to show to their owner they can win some football games,
especially
in the first couple of years.
Especially when you're definitely, like, unquestionably behind the 8 ball in year 1. Like, it's not a season where you're coming in and you got a team that can definitely sneak in and make the playoffs, so you have a little wiggle room to get some veterans. Like, in year 1, you're behind the 8 ball. You got nothing but a bunch of 1-year contracts. You're dealing with a year like, hey, let's just buy some time, basically.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, Matt. Like, yeah, when it comes to the cap, I'm not sitting here saying, like, yeah, they should have went out and gotten Odell or Von Miller or anybody.
No, you're right. They could have been more aggressive. They could have.
I felt like they could have been a little more aggressive and say, like, all right,
look at Grady Jarrett's contract. They did nothing with it. They could have created about $10 million. They did $10 million of cap space. So for a guy that you think is going to be around a while, and that's why it's like the longer they don't do anything with it, it's like you wonder, is Grady Jarrett?
So we're really going to just stick with trotting out Stephen Means week in and week out. Like, we're really going to be fine with that. Like, that's what was bothering me. Like, they don't have a whole lot of money, but again, teams, if they really want a player, they can create some space.
No, I mean, they had the Grady Jarrett contract. They could have used voidable years on the Jake Matthews restructure, the Matt Ryan restructure. Yeah. They didn't use voidable years on any of those restructures. And so, again, their whole approach was, we want to win, but we're not going to really go super all in.
Right.
Yeah, we and again,
that was my problem with it, man. It's just like half measures, like either do it or don't.
One foot in, 1 foot out, kind of.
1 foot in, 1 foot out type thing, right? I mean,
nice little.
I'm not saying I'm like Nostradamus and I know everything about being an NFL GM and all these guys.
Yes, you do. Don't be humble.
No, I don't. But like there were a lot of guys I had listed out that I was like, yeah, he makes sense. He makes sense. Like Jarrell Casey, Desmond King, guys like that are immediate upgrades.
Yeah,
like huge immediate upgrades that sign for like less than $5 million.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of bargains out there. Casey Hayward, one of the better quarterbacks per Pro Football Focus, 1 year, like
I think he's number 1
million.
for PFF right now.
But I made the case. I think part of the reason he went to the Raiders is because of the connection to Gus Bradley. Jesus Christ, they can't run the football to save their lives. Yep, I just saw that -3 to 4 yard Mike Davis.
Another thing that kills me too, the Spencer Brown out of
the guy Keith Smith can't play tight end.
Y'all are about to come up on a play that Matt kind of messed up. It was Matt's fault. I don't think he got. We'll see. Watch this upcoming play.
Was it
a pick?
Yes. I think he was late. On that throw.
Yes to an interception or yes to Sharp?
Yes to Sharp.
It's to Sharp. Yeah, he hesitated.
Yeah,
he threw it late.
He had him.
He did. He had it. He had the window.
Wow, I am so far behind. I just saw the conversion to Russ Gage.
Jesus Christ! Really?
Are you even ahead of me, Eric?
Yeah, it's 39. It's 39 now.
Maybe I need to
holding. It's coming even back even further. That's probably going to get declined.
Let me refresh my Hulu.
Jalen Mills got hurt.
I think it was Matt Hennessy on that hold. Had it been?
Fuck me, man.
Matt Hennessy should have got flagged for a hold on that long completion. They got him the first down the first time. Good God, he was holding on for dear life.
Yeah, he was struggling
for a ride, man. What long completion? I don't think I've seen that long completion yet.
It's Russell Gage, intermediate.
Oh, okay. The third down.
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder. It's like I think I'm like 3 minutes behind. Just had to.
Oh my God, Christian Barrymore. Dude, what are you doing?
Matt Hennessy, 1-on-1 with. They
Christian
call that for holding.
Yeah.
Which the one on the third down play that got him the first down was way worse than that.
Now are you ahead of me?
I'm on 4th and 9 now. I might be. You might have to.
So they just declined the penalty.
Pull your the status bar, because mine was like a couple minutes behind for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Frank Darby getting down there on punt coverage. All right, Frank.
So what type of route did Sharp run that Matt missed him on? Was it a go route?
It was a little
No,
out.
that was a corner. That was a corner.
Yeah,
route.
it looked like a
corner route.
And he hit Matt. Matt had one too many hitches. You just got to throw it, man. Go with it.
I guess, was he not the first read in the progression, maybe?
No, he wasn't. But I think he had enough of a window to fit it in there. But he allowed the safety to get over there in time.
Oh, man. Hey guys, remember that run game that they had in the first half of the Eagles game? That was fun.
Yeah, that shit is dead.
Because it hasn't looked anything close to that since.
Nope.
Who would have thought I'd have a positive to say about that Week 1 game? Because that run game was nice, and it was just like
that game as a whole. However, was just brutal.
No, well,
it wasn't even really the run game as a whole. It was like 3 drives that they averaged 9 yards.
Yeah, sure. Well, because once they got behind the 8 ball, then they couldn't.
It honestly, it looked as if they didn't really have much of a game plan going into that game. It kind of sort of looked like they were just going on the fly. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, like, you guys had all summer, all training camp, and you look this flat in game 1 against an opponent like the Eagles, who are, at least at that point in time, we were very high on, their defensive line. Darius Slay is a very good corner, but at least on the offensive side of the ball, it's just like, man, this is what you guys prepared all summer, training camp, coming into this.
Yeah, Arthur Smith does that a lot, where you're like, golly, that's the guy you see from Tennessee. And then there's sometimes you're like, wow, this guy shouldn't be a head coach. I mean, he's clearly doing first-year head coach things where he just, it's clear. And what are you going to do, I mean, you really can't
sometimes he's like sitting on his good plays. Like
I agree.
He's not running good plays because he wants to save them. Or something.
Is that because he doesn't trust certain guys in certain areas at certain times? Because I'm thinking when you're looking at a guy like Hayden Hurst right now, I think us not seeing much from Hayden Hurst is because of the issues he had early in the year where he's dropping passes and had a couple fumbles. I think you're just not calling plays for him because you may not trust him. Same with Russell Gage. And I think it was very, very obvious when he said last week, he was like, hey, our guys can't win one-on-ones. We can't beat man coverage. So of course, as a play caller, that's really gonna mask your play calls right there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys not performing up to what I had thought the capabilities they could. I mean, Hayden Hurst, Russell Gage, Mike Davis. You're not getting much outside of, even Calvin Ridley.
Positive note.
When he was playing.
Positive note, outside of football, Dante Fowler looks sick. He looks sick. I mean, I love the socks. When they have I don't even know what they're called, those striped socks.
You're bringing the wardrobe takes today.
In the first
quarter. You look good. You look good. You feel good. You feel good. You play good.
Yeah.
Play good. They play good.
From Deion Sanders himself.
Hey, he said it.
Damian Harris just sent Deron Harmon to the shadow realm, by the way. Y'all are going to like that one in a second.
Ramon Stevenson earlier, Did you see that?
Yeah, he just discarded someone like he was a little child.
That was Deron Harmon.
That was Harmon. That was
Harmon again? Oh, man. Harmon, you might have to hang him up after this one tonight.
I mean,
it might be time.
I thought Deron Harmon was going to be so good in this defense.
I thought
he was going to be so good.
Yeah.
Just because he's so familiar with it. He knows exactly what Dean Pease wants.
He's a liability.
He is such a liability.
It's to the point now. He's a liability. He's a liability. He's not tackling is poor, as you can tell just now. He had a one-on-one in the hole.
Yeah, Deion Jones on a fullback. Yep, Deion's not winning that one, and he didn't.
You got lower than the running back. Of course, they taught you in Pop Warner, lower man wins. You got lower, and you still cannot come down with the tackle. Like, it's just.
I do credit Dean Pease. At least he had the gall and the sense to move Deion to Will. It just, Deion just hasn't played well. But he is a. Yep, there's another one where just the run fits for the linebackers.
Yeah, that last run,
Debo had a run fit. He ran over Eric Harris.
They're just tossing us around, man.
That's the scoreboard doesn't indicate it. They are dominating right now, and it starts at the line of scrimmage here.
And again, why do we have hefty scratches?
Hey, Matt, Jarrett's here, especially.
Yeah, Jarrett's in the building. Eric, you're free to hang as long as you want. We're nearing the end of the first quarter here.
Sure, I don't have anything else to do.
It's been a blast. All right, well, let's bring in our next guest. In my personal opinion, I think he's an underrated member of Falcons Twitter. I've been following him for a bit. He's at ____. That's 3 underscores. The King ____. He's Jared King.
You gotta switch.
Jared,
you gotta switch that. I'm so glad somebody just said that.
You gotta
three underscores. It's a lot. I don't know how you settled on those, but it's good to have you.
Jeez,
was 2 underscores the King taken, or was 1 underscore the King taken? Talk us through. I love the name. I told you because it's your last name. It makes it even better. But how did the 3 underscores happen?
All of them were taken. I mean, I made this thing in 2009, and it was just like, I'm sitting in my room drinking.
You were one of the OGs then. What wasn't Twitter? Didn't it start in 09?
Like 07 or something like that? Yeah.
07. Okay.
So I know I think about changing it all the time because it's not convenient, but it's just like, I don't really care.
Stick with your guns. We're just messing with you, but yeah, it's good to have you, man. You've taught me a bit with X's and O's and scheme. We've had some great discussions about the Falcons, so I'm glad we could have you on here. And I guess what are your takes thus far of the first quarter? Anything jump out at you? I mean, obviously the Patriots right now are dominating. I think the line of scrimmage with their offensive line.
I'm with Eric. I mean, I don't know how you have healthy scratches. You know they're going to run the ball. I mean, I get you've got limitations on roster and game day.
Well, Davidson is very surprising. I missed out. And Tyler Davison, I haven't been impressed with his play. And you can write it in pen. He's going to be gone after the season. They're going to save close to $4 million with him. But yeah, you knew they were going to run the ball, and
you knew.
So it is a little surprising.
Given before the game, the injury report coming out, they're getting Damian Harris back. Ramondre Stevenson was questionable, but they said he was active for the game. They got a rookie quarterback.
You know what's coming.
What other signs do you need to know? Like, hey, you know what? They're probably going to lean on the running game a little bit tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not like they have great weapons on the outside,
right?
In the receiver.
Whoa, N'Keal Harry.
You mean the guy that asked to be traded from New England?
Yeah.
Although I'm sure he's pretty happy now that he's sticking around because, this AFC, maybe we revisit that conversation since the Falcons aren't giving us much to talk about. But who do you guys like coming out of the AFC? Because it's like every week outside of the Titans. I mean, even with all their injuries, they've been the most consistent team in the bunch. But every week a team has faltered.
It's hard to say. This is about as wide open as I've seen in a long time, and I'm both conferences.
I say the Titans. I live in Nashville. I mean, I see them firsthand. I mean, they're built for any game you want to play.
Right.
Mike
Vrabel, you got to give him. He's the front runner for Coach of the Year right now. Props to him.
It's not sexy. They're just if you want to score. They beat the Chiefs, they beat the Rams, they beat the Bills. That's not by accident.
That's pretty impressive.
So it's
it's a great resume.
It's pretty impressive.
And they don't have Derrick Henry now, but
aren't there? Their 2 losses are what? The Jets, which was odd, and
the Jets,
who else did they lose
the
to?
Cardinals wiped the floor with them.
Oh, that was in week 1, but week 1 shenanigans happened.
Yeah.
That Jets one was odd.
But I think this is honestly, at least since we're talking about the AFC. this is definitely. Oh, come on, Richie. What the hell? This is definitely a year, honestly, where you can. I would say 4, maybe 5 teams in the AFC can legitimately make a case and say, like, hey, we can take this thing. We can become AFC representatives in the Super Bowl. Titans are definitely one of them.
What's probably going to happen though? The Chiefs have messed around all season, and now they're kind of right back in the thick of it. And I feel like, I mean,
they're getting hot at the right time. This is the right time of the year for
their
them.
Defense is still suspect.
Which it's always been the case with them, right? Like, I mean, they've never really had a juggernaut unit anyway. It was more so their thing.
My God!
And
my God!
And the reason what they
I don't know. That's a busted coverage, whatever.
Yeah.
Butt naked Nelson Aguilar walking in the end zone. If you like looking at that.
Cool.
I don't know who.
It's just 10 points.
I don't know whose assignment that was.
It's just 10 points.
Yeah,
it is.
They got to answer though. We need at least.
That's probably enough. That's you might be able to call it game already. Just
they'll get 3.
Yeah, someone didn't know their assignment. AJ just kind of passed them off. But I'm guessing they were in man because everyone else was
in man. So who's passing who off?
That was Terrell Island. Oh man, it'll be good to see. We got Vincent from PFF coming on the third quarter.
AJ,
I want to know who PFF assigned that one to.
That's on AJ. What the hell are you doing?
Most likely, that's my guess.
Yeah.
AJ,
he didn't know his assignment.
That's what I always complain about with the defense. It's just like it's the mental stuff. Like they haven't brought in.
You said this for a while now. It's
just dumb
playing
stuff.
Stupid football.
It's just like just do your job. Like if everybody else
was going to say that earlier, Eric, about the 30% or 25% playbook.
I mean, is this part of it? The scheme being too difficult for the guys?
That's what I'm saying. How much is the actual mental side versus the actual, obviously the defense doesn't have guys. We don't have the talent, but I feel like you should be able to. I mean, the Patriots exemplify it better than anyone. That, they might not be the most talented guys physically, but they know their job and they're doing their job. They go to other cities, they go to other organizations, and then they flame out and come back. So don't you think it's got to be some mental stuff? I mean, it's got to be.
That obviously has nothing to do with scheme, in my opinion. That's just
not that.
That's just a complete brain fart by a guy that's having an excellent year. I get it. Like there are. We can go back to the Richie play earlier where he had, he's playing the edge. He pretty much took inside leverage, even though I don't know why you're supposed to be playing outside. Why are you going underneath the block, Richie? But still, like those type of things are like, okay, it's not even scheme. It's just you guys have the football IQ. There's a deficiency there when it compares to other teams.
But you didn't see Richie making those mistakes in college. Like that's what always blows me.
That's a good point. You didn't really see Richie make those type of mistakes in college.
He was a sharp player. I mean, he was asked to do a lot at UCF.
He went to the Senior Bowl and balled out with a week.
Oh my God!
And then you get I don't know.
Richie was the best player on the field, regardless of position, in the Senior Bowl. The best player on the field. Playing the slot, had a pick on Kadarius Toney. It's just
This is such an important drive. This literally could be the game.
Oh yeah,
this drive could be the game.
Yeah,
totally agree.
This is
got to see something from them.
Got to see points. Got to have points.
See, I mean that's good. 9-yard gain on first down. I mean you got to stay ahead of the chains. You can't be like last week against Dallas. It was like the third or fourth possession. You needed to have it. First down call, -3, -4-yard run. Then what do you call on 2nd and 14? Another run play to get yourself just into a 3rd and 9? Like,
speaking of Dallas, did anybody have any issues with them going forward on 4th and 7?
Not
my
well.
only
issue with the play call.
My only issue was why didn't they go for it on the first 4th and 7 from the it was the exact same down and distance. They were just closer to the end zone. I had a problem with the consistency of it. Like, if you're going to be aggressive, be aggressive. It was the very first drive. They had a 4th and 7 from the 17, and they opted for the field goal. Then they had 4th and 7 from the 32. And I thought, like, maybe Koo's limited. Maybe he didn't have 49-yard range, which I didn't hear that he was hurt or anything. Some followers were saying that were at the game that I guess maybe he was coming up a little bit short on his pregame kicks. But that was my only issue with it. I didn't, just the consistency. Why not? Should have went for it both times.
Understood. You guys,
because you knew touchdowns.
You're not going to kick.
Oh boy.
Young Wei Koo is not going to win that game against Dallas.
No, that's the biggest point. That's the only point is you were never going to beat that team on Koo's leg. You were never going to beat that team, and he knew that formation now there. I mean, he knew that.
Breeze would have had you. We'd have kicked it. Everybody would have been happy on the timeline, and we'd have lost 43.
Look at this.
Yeah, it would have been 43-6. Right? Like, okay, yeah, that makes a considerable difference, guys.
Yeah,
this defense is still not getting a stop whatsoever. So I don't care if they go for it on 4th and 7 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
My thing is
on this conversion right here, Jalen Mayfield just got himself a slab of ribs right there. He just milked somebody's midsection. I don't know if it was
fine work, man. Fine work.
I love that.
He did. So Marvin Hall's number 9, huh?
Baby steps.
It's a weird look for me seeing him in number 9.
Yeah,
baby steps with Jalen Mayfield, man.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with. I mean, really the whole team, but like even the offense. Like, I get Arthur Smith, like he leans on the run too much, but I think it's just a matter of like he's gonna call what he's gonna call. Like having seen him in Tennessee up front, it's like he's gonna call what he's gonna call. But I'm fine with it. So we get a clear look of what doesn't work and why it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
Like none of us have a question of, all right, going into the offseason, you have a clear look of here's who we want to be and here's why we can't be this team. Versus
I can live with Mayfield too because Mayfield's getting better.
Yeah,
let's talk about let's talk a little bit about the off season.
Literally,
where do you guys
said that? He just
we're all in agreement on team defense early and often in the draft, right? At least that first round pick.
You got
to play the board, but we know what the board is shaping up to be.
Best defensive player available in round 1, in my opinion.
Every round.
I don't care. I don't care. Now,
it's a good way to live.
We need a receiver. We definitely need an extra body there, and I will want them to take a swing at a running back early if he's there. Maybe not round 1, but I definitely want to see them take a swing at a running back.
Maybe this is
it.
Don't tell me. Just short on the. Matt. Wow, it wasn't gonna lead to anything.
That screen wasn't gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, it's actually sometimes I wish guys would have the wherewithal to just kind of knock the pass down at times if they know it's gonna lead to a negative gain, but you rarely see it.
No, I just watched this 3rd and 10 play.
Zacchaeus is like.
I'm a bit ahead of you guys. I won't say anything. I'll just kind of hang out.
All righty, boys.
I'll do it.
I'll spoil the fun.
Did we get this?
4th and 1, we get it.
We converted.
Wow, and we just ran it up the with Allison, no less.
Yep. But like, I think that's my point. Is like
Parker Hesse.
Look at that.
That
might be the first time.
The first running, but you see, it wasn't anything pulling. It wasn't anything cute. Just run the ball. Like
I like what I saw from.
Well, they did. Yeah, Parker Hesse sealed the edge
from Zacchaeus.
Very close to a hold. He relinquished it though.
Dude, Parker Hesse, let's go.
Yeah, Alex was driving the Parker Hesse.
I love the bandwagon. The one bandwagon for Parker Hesse.
Okay, I like that. All right. Okay, Allison.
Arthur Smith bringing him from Tennessee. All right.
I like that. Look, if Allison is one guy that I feel, he should have been getting snaps. He should have been getting snaps. He's not lead back material by any means. But you saw how Jason McCourty was like, oh shit.
You think twice.
He's running at me. Like this is when he comes downhill like a train. Okay, Allison.
Hat on a hat. Everyone got a body.
He's not Mike Davis. He's not the dance.
He's not.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, that's what I said earlier. He wasn't decisive enough.
McCourty's stopping at the sticks to tackle him instead of just coming straight in. He's a little like, oh shit, let me brace myself.
Yeah.
Let me hold on for dear life.
That's a big man, 6 feet, 230, like
230, 235. Yeah. He should be getting some more snaps. I'm sorry, Mike Davis, but no, man.
Yeah, no, we're at the point of the season where Mike really hasn't done anything with him. So
I think he's had a season high of what? 50 yards? 50 yards?
Yeah. And he hasn't broken around longer than 13 yards? Like he just
is it a turnover?
No.
It might be.
No. It's just one of those ones where it's like Matt's 36.
Oh, it's there.
So much.
You gotta get rid of that.
Yeah.
Wait, what the hell? Oh man, I just saw a nice, Kyle Pitts conversion. That's a terrible spot. What the hell are you doing?
I don't know
Matt's
if
hurt.
He's bleeding on his elbow, but he's hurt.
Oh.
No, he just stubbed his toe.
That's worse than a turnover, guys. What the hell?
Yeah, what are you guys talking about?
Stubbed his toe. Ooh, never mind.
I said he just might be bleeding, but
he just rolled up his foot. He just got rolled up on.
He's just bleeding on his elbow. He's all right.
Dude.
No, they're putting a wrap on him, bro.
On his foot?
It looks like his hamstring.
Oh, don't tell me it's turf toe again.
No, that's blood. I don't think it's
elbow.
I don't know what it is.
It's his elbow. He jacked his elbow up.
Dude, how was that 3rd and 1 though? That was a terrible call.
I thought he got the first.
Yeah. Thought it was
we
clear
just
as
got a
day.
Formation on a field goal attempt, and now we get to try it again.
Probably they did, dude. They did, or we did.
We did.
Now this is what? Oh, they're punting now. Oh no, that's called quit holding. My bad. Jesus Christ, I was about to freak.
Dear God. Well,
I mean, we said they needed to get points.
That's true. Need to stop now.
Did they
get the field goal?
Nope, missed.
Oh.
That's ball game.
Oh no. God, dude.
That's ball game.
Yeah,
thank God I'm a Green Bay Packers owner now.
That's ball game.
I hate you.
That's ball game.
Hit your wagon.
That's a tough miss.
Yeah, now I host the podcast with 2 Green Bay Packers fans.
That's ball game.
Tighten up. Y'all can be Titans fans. Come on.
That's ball game.
Oh,
I would if Julio didn't.
Damn
it, Julio! But I guess can we blame him at this point? Jeez, like
he was right. Like what are we talking about? Julio was right.
I think Julio did the team was solid. I think Julio said, "Look, I don't have enough gas in the tank. Get a pick for me." He probably only has like 2 years left in him.
Well, yeah, maybe not even that. With the way things are, that hamstring is just hanging by a thread. But they got to take advantage of these picks. Like, I'm not at the point where I'm praising Terry Fontenot right now. At this draft class, yes, it's early, but I didn't really like the players to begin with. I liked Richie Grant. I liked Kyle Pitts. Beyond that point, there was a lot of questionable decisions. Jalen Mayfield we'll see. I mean, we've talked about it, he's made progress, but still not, a league starting type of guard. Taking a backup center. I mean, I guess they weren't confident in Hennessy, and maybe that competition gets reopened in the off season. I don't know. I mean, I thought Hennessy's been fine. Certainly when he's.
I was fine with Dahlman. I mean,
where are you going to play him though? If you're just taking a 4th round pick to be a backup for 3 years.
But I think I was probably more pessimistic about the roster. It's like we have no depth, right? So even if Dahlman becomes a career backup who pushes Hennessy, at least you got somebody there who's ready.
Yeah, but that is a spot that you're going to create when you could have taken a backup that can actually be a useful piece, like on the defense. You can actually
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Rotate in a edge rusher or another linebacker.
Yeah.
You can't rotate in another center.
But like you still got Ogundeji. Like that, like
yeah, I mean
it's a criticism. Like we bitch about the O-line for years, and it's like we finally take one. Like the team was gonna suck regardless. Like it's like we gotta start building up the O-line eventually.
The team was bad. The team was going to be bad. But at that point in time in the draft, my opinion, I'm looking at it like, okay, what's more of a critical need? A backup center or a backup edge rusher? What's more needed? At that point, a backup edge rusher made a lot more sense to me.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like they still ended up with that backup edge rusher anyway.
But they could have double dipped too. I would have liked them. Right. I would have liked them to take Chris Rumpf from Duke at that spot, and then you have Rumpf and Ogundeji, and again, that's you're not done at the position for the future. But
on a team
I hate to interrupt. They just should have replayed that illegal formation. That was not a penalty, bro. That was not a penalty.
On a team that on the kick. Okay. On a team that is last in the league in sacks, what's one more mid-round rookie rusher right?
Because a fourth-round pick, I look at fourth-round picks as premium picks, right? Like those are supposed to be like contributors.
Well, you should stop doing that. You should stop thinking them as premium round picks because they're not. I mean, what? They are not premium round picks. 1 through 3 are premium round picks.
No, well, I put 4 in there. 1 through 4 are premium picks.
I still think you can get a starter in round 4.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a starter as a undrafted free agent. I mean, you can get a starter anywhere.
You're less likely. You're less likely.
You're less likely. You're getting a top 100 talent.
You're getting a top 100 talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I go ahead.
I mean, it depends where you're drafting. I guess the Falcons got a top 100 this year, but you shouldn't draft a 4th-round pick and expect him to become a starter. That's
not year one, maybe not year one,
but you can definitely look at that 4th-round pick and say, hey, in year 1, he can be a rotational guy. He can be a 2-deep guy in year 1.
Do they get off the field on 3rd and 12? Please tell me now.
3 and out, baby.
They did.
Hey, so
3 and out.
I think the 4th. This is such an interesting debate. It really is. It should be given more thought about what is truly a premium round pick because I would die on this hill that a 4th-round pick isn't. I mean,
Alex, ask anybody. They say the draft ends after round 4. That's like that's what they say.
Why do you think?
I don't know what was up with his medicals. I don't know if he had webbed feet. I don't know if he was deaf or blind. Why was Trey Smith a 6th-round pick? I know he had a heart thing.
It was medical.
Well,
It was medical because he had blood clot issues while it.
That hurts me. That one hurts me so much.
And that scared teams.
He wouldn't have been a great fit, I don't think. But
I think
I think a good player.
I think
he's a no-brainer.
I think he was a better prospect than Jalen Mayfield.
I think
absolutely.
We all were like, why are we not taking Trey Smith?
And he was a left guard, whereas Mayfield never played guard. Trey Smith played left guard.
I evaluated him at tackle, so I didn't really look at him at guard, even though he played a ton of guard. But I was watching him at tackle.
Man, laugh out loud. I thought Franks on the punt team.
I thought he was a starter at left guard. You didn't even have to worry about switching positions like you do with Mayfield. You slot Trey Smith in.
Dude, I would have taken him in round 3. Round 3. I was like,
I would have taken him. Yeah, right there. I'm fine with it.
Trey Smith. It was clear, like the tape was clear. Like that was one of the easiest.
Yeah, that wasn't the question.
I'm not good at O-line projections, but Trey Smith was one of the easier ones where it's like, oh, this kid is going to maul people in the league.
Because his athletic testing was among the best ever for guards.
When you looked at the reports and even when you watched the tape, the biggest concern, of course, was the health issue. It wasn't a situation where his technique needed some refining or, he just didn't get enough reps in college. Like, no, this kid is good. It's just teams are concerned.
Matt,
so the conversation. Hang on. So the conversation.
4th-round picks. We're getting off.
Jalen Mayfield.
So hang on. The conversation.
What's the question? I can't hear you. Dumpy.
The conversation should go from then on Trey Smith. In this first-year regime, are you willing to take that risk? They probably weighed the risk of his medical issues, and they deemed him,
fair. That's fair, but I thought Mayfield was a risk too because of the projection you're making for him.
Right.
So I think that was a risk in itself.
It wasn't as if they drafted a guy instead of Trey Smith that is still a surefire starter.
Like if they would have taken Quinn Miners, that was another one. I was like, how do you pass on Quinn Miners, who was also like a pretty easy like plug and play option?
Miners was another Senior Bowl.
Easy.
Yeah, exactly.
But to go off of Alex's point, you either risk taking a prospect that looks good on tape, but he just has a few health concerns, or you still risk taking a right tackle and converting him to left guard.
Yeah.
What is the bigger risk is let me roll the dice on a guy that I know right now can come in and be a starter.
I'd have took Trey Smith over Frank Darby.
What if Jalen
was he still on the board when
still on the board? You get Jalen Mayfield.
Oh man, that makes.
You get Drew Dahlman at center. You get Trey Smith at left guard.
Because what if Jalen wasn't
able
to convert?
They were really hitching their wagon to Mayfield being a guard. That's the only thing you can
say
about why they didn't do that.
No, they wouldn't. That's the craziest thing. They expected, but Josh Andrews was the starter.
But I'm saying in year two, Mayfield was going to be the guard.
Year two,
so
maybe.
So you're not going to take someone else.
I see that
as well. Like they were very adamant about Mayfield being.
I'm going to debate you there, Alex. I think in their mindset, best case scenario was Jalen winning the job. I think they were hoping Jalen wins the job.
Yeah, I think there's that too. Yeah, for sure.
Surely
that makes sense. They were wanting.
Because come on, Josh Andrews really.
But they gave him decent hurdles to beat out. If Gano doesn't get hurt and Andrews doesn't get hurt, and Mayfield wins it outright,
right?
Those are some good hurdles to clear.
Right.
He wasn't winning it.
He was pretty much given the job for the most part.
Given the job. He was given the job. He inherited this job.
But I think they wanted him to win it anyway.
Yeah.
They wanted him to win
He's got it. Like the kid's 21. Like he literally just turned 21.
Barely 21.
Night of the cheating, man.
Barely 21.
Caleb McGarry just got fucking whipped.
He sucks, dude. He sucks.
Caleb McGarry just got his lunch.
He's been a major disappointment.
I mean,
you know what's weird too? Like I remember when he was drafted,
he was wide open,
and his athletic numbers. The precedent and the history says guys that test as well as he did. Like the real knock on him was the short arms, but the athletic testing was all there. Usually, guys, offensive linemen like that, don't miss very often, and he's going to be probably, I think
one of the few.
Oh, he went up against Judon. Oh, it makes sense. He went up against Judon. I see why he lost.
He's one of those ones. I feel like you.
But look, when you draft him in the 30s, you're expecting him to win some of those matchups.
Not only that, but when you trade back into the 30s, you're expecting
that too. That makes it even worse.
Caleb McGarry shows up for exactly one game a year against the Saints.
Now the thing with
dude, I don't even think he was that good. People like to say he was good against the Saints. They gave him so much help in that game. He didn't single-handedly.
To this day, I still think there was a better prospect on the board than Caleb McGarry. But they panicked. They should have taken Cody Ford. Cody Ford was still there. But
he hasn't been that great in Buffalo either. The offensive line class in general hasn't been as great as what it was.
It's better than McGarry. At least you got a right guard, than McGarry. You got a left guard. Like you could still move Cody Ford. You can't move McGarry anywhere.
You can't. He's stuck. And for all the fans who were like, let's slide McGarry to guard, absolutely not.
He's Garrett Reynolds at guard.
This guy has played right tackle his entire, and I'm talking about from high school through college. He's played right tackle his entire career. That is a transition you do not want to take.
I don't know. It was one of those picks where, again, I was fine with it. I liked it, but it just hasn't worked out. And that. But I'm saying like wanting to switch positions for McGarry. Like you're pointed out, you're stuck with McGarry. Yeah, no, he's a right tackle or nothing else. Yeah,
or nothing else.
I will say, I don't consider myself to be like an offensive line savant. Like when I first started doing scouting last year, Like I get like hand placement and scheme fits and stuff like that, and like I use a lot of RAS, but I had it in. I'm not like trying to suck myself off here. I'm trying to make a point. Don't worry.
Yes, you are. Don't lie. Don't lie.
I had Rashawn Slater first because I fucking love Rashawn Slater. Jesus, I would have taken him at 4. And he's like a top.
You turn on the Ohio State film, it's obvious. Yeah, he was.
And yeah, he had Chase Young locked up. Yeah. I loved Spencer Brown out of Northern Iowa. And he starts for the Bills now. And you could have cut McGarry after this season, started Spencer Brown there next year, and you would have had an instant replacement. And he was a 4th or 5th round pick, maybe.
There's another tackle coming out of Northern Iowa this year that you might
like. Yes, Trevor
Penning. That guy's a bully.
I think he might be a top 10 pick. He might be.
He's getting some.
I mean, another right tackle I think we all like is Ekwonu from NC State. If there's one, if there's one offensive player to maybe target,
him. Look, if I'm going into a bar fight and I can only pick one offensive
you want him.
I want him coming into a bar fight with me, dude. Yeah. We're going down swinging. That guy, he's a fighter. That's what you need. That's what you want.
I tell you who I really like too. I haven't watched a ton of offensive. I haven't watched that much film, anyways. I've been lazy. I got finals next week, but man, Tyler Linderbaum, he's got that Quentin Nelson. Like you put him on the offensive line, and you got a Pro Bowler from day.
They're treating him as a center, though, right?
Yeah, he's a center.
He's strictly center. He didn't play any guard while at Iowa.
See, this is the thing. Like, how many years?
Oh, that sounds like
Dalton. Are they realistically going to give themselves? Because while I agree, Lindenbaum's a stud. If you take a guy like that, you're not really making any forward progress on your rebuild because you're just replacing.
And this is a question that we were question that we were asking last night on the Falcoholic. When it's going into this offseason, what is prioritized via the draft and via free agency based on what you guys see on the roster? Because you can I get where you were going with that, Matt. Like you want to stockpile young talent on the line, but at the same time, you want to, being the resources that you have an aging quarterback. You don't really have time to kind of groom offensive linemen. You kind of
not really, no.
Yeah, you kind of sort of need to get this train rolling now a little bit. So what is prioritized this offseason?
Defense.
What I'm saying, what is prioritized in the draft and what's prioritized in free agency?
I think the top of this draft has so many good defenders. You have to get one of them, man. Like you look at the corners. There's probably 5 top 10 talents at corner. I mean,
I want to get a corner and an edge rusher with those first 2 picks, honestly. And I think it sets up where it's deep enough to get those.
Okay.
I want Terrell Island is great and all, but we need to get someone on the other side to really make that even more hold more weight, because if you can just target the other guy opposite him, your defense
doesn't matter.
It's still going to be bad. Yeah, it's not going to matter.
So are you gonna use free agency to upgrade the offensive side of the ball? Then is that where you guys are leaning with that?
Probably. But I'm with you though. I do want to look at getting a running back. Isaiah Spiller or Iowa State kids.
I love Kenneth Walker, but
Kenneth Walker's great too. Like Kenneth Walker or the Iowa State kid Brees.
Yeah,
Brees Hall.
Mm-hmm.
So like one of those guys, I'd think about in the 3rd round if they're available.
Holy shit! What is Dion doing with this?
It's kind of a premium position.
Can I raise my hand on this one? What I would, I said it last. I said it last offseason. Matt came at my neck for it a little bit.
Oh man, it's all in good fun, good love.
I'm cleaning house. I'm probably trading Grady. I'm probably trading Debo.
No, well,
I'm looking to let.
Well, Debo, I might be there with you on Debo. Grady,
I'm keeping Grady.
But my thing is, right, and I agree with keeping Grady. Like for me, I'm 50-50 on it, right? Grady's your most prized asset that you could trade. And so it's like by the time this defense is competitive, Grady's 32. Is he still the same player? You're going to be paying $20 a year for Grady.
Jared, here's the question that we were talking about earlier. I feel like Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot, they have to start winning pretty soon within year 2 or 3.
Right.
If they don't, they're going to be out the door. So, like, I don't think they have time, especially when year one they decided not to take the quarterback. Yeah, they're like, all right, we're going to push forward with Matt Ryan. I don't think they're. I mean, certainly when it makes sense to trade some players,
it's
maybe
not
they will.
It's not often you see a regime start off year one and say, "Hey, we're just going to punt this year," and then start the rebuilding process in year two. I mean, that might be half your tenure before you really got a solid team.
Yeah, I mean,
the Cardinals
not for long.
I feel like they're on the same path the Cardinals took. Cardinals got rid of Steve Wilkes. They won 3 games. Cliff Kingsbury won 5 games. Then he won 8 games. Remember, Cliff Kingsbury, people wanted him out after year 1. They were like, he's terrible.
Did they really clean? I don't think they really cleaned house in year 1.
Oh, no, they didn't.
That wasn't a situation because he came in year 1. They're like, hey, we're going to make you our new coach. And guess what else we're going to give you? We're going to give you Kyler Murray in year 1. Like, the Falcons don't have that luxury. It's like
they don't have the luxury, but like I feel like it's a similar trajectory of like they didn't have cap space. They had a shit situation. Julio wanted out and they knew it, and they were trying to sell Julio on like, look, we can win, stay, boom, boom, boom. Like I never bought the win now stuff because it's like we have no cap space. We want.
I never bought the win now stuff either.
And so it's like it's still your typical new regime, ramp up. I think them being 4-5 right now is, I mean, they should honestly be like 6-3.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
They should also be proud of that 4-5 record.
No, I mean for real though, they should have lost the Washington game, and
we should have lost versus Washington.
Like Carolina, I don't know. I mean, it's a toss up. They didn't play
well versus Carolina, and so it's like you take that, like it took us all season to win 4 games last year,
and they got
and that's the reason why I was kind of buying the whole this team can turn it around is because I don't think they were a true 4-12 team. I mean, you look at the Pythagorean wins and loss; they were a 7-9 team last year that just kind of falconed it up, tossed away too many games. They were in all of those games. They were like 1-8 in 1-score games. That just doesn't happen. So that's why I was like, they're inheriting a 7-9 team. And so
you just watch that Darren Hall play.
Yeah. But it's like you inherit a 7-9 team, but you got no cap space to really improve it. And so like the roster's eroding. Like that's kind of where I'm at, where it's like
why is he playing inside leverage, man?
But like, where did the roster erode in your mind? Because I know you weren't a fan of the safety play, and I don't feel like the safeties they brought in. It's like a lateral move.
The secondary was terrible, honestly.
So like, I don't know other than Julio, where did the roster
really? He makes up for it.
He gets a pick.
He makes up.
Oh, Darren Hall just saw that. Okay,
there we go.
I feel like a non-rookie quarterback is getting that ball out of his hands already, but
I
don't know. Maybe that's just.
I didn't see it. What the hell? God damn it! I'm getting rid of Hulu. I'm getting rid of Hulu after the season, man.
Hulu.
You got Amazon Prime?
I do. Man, I got everything. Okay. All right. Thanks.
So,
thanks to the
for it. This is huge.
Thanks to the pandemic.
They should go for it. They
got everything.
Thanks to the pandemic, I have everything. Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu. I got all that shit. For whatever reason, I don't know.
By the way, don't let Alex bother you too bad about like the Falcons or anything because I own his favorite team.
What'd you say?
No way.
He's short. Yeah, it's 4th and 1.
I thought that was 5 seconds left.
I said, don't let Alex get you down about the Falcons because I own his favorite team, and if I said
why would they be going for it?
Go Pack, go!
He missed it.
They didn't know what down the distance.
Oh no, yeah, shit.
So 13-0.5.
Oh, ain't no way. This team ain't scoring 2 touchdowns.
Come on, man. We about to come back. Second half champs.
That would be very ironic if they could come back on the Patriots.
Third quarter is the worst quarter. We're about to be down 33-0 going into the 4th.
Man, I gotta fix myself another drink.
This is brutal, man. God damn it.
For the second half. Yeah, I mean we're gonna go back to that drive where they missed the field goal. I think that was the.
But then you're still down again.
I don't know how they called that Kyle Pitts short of the line to gain and forced it into a 3rd and 1. That should have been 1st and 10 play. That
I think that's a worse call. I think that's a worse call than that penalty on the field goal. Like the spot was a worse.
Yeah,
I mean,
and there was no challenge of it.
That past the upright. Of course, he hits that shit.
I'm not listening. I don't think any of us are listening to the broadcast. But like, how did they not
challenge it? Arthur should have challenged it. Yeah.
That was on their side.
Has Arthur Smith challenged the play all season?
I
don't know if he has.
I don't know. That was on their side.
Because there was what was the one a couple weeks ago? Was it it was the Saints, right? That they got stuffed on 4th and inches with a Mike Davis run, and I thought that was it was like, yeah, I even tweeted it. It was the chain links. The ball was literally across that final chain link, and for whatever reason, the ref called it short.
That was short. Yeah.
And how do you not challenge in that situation?
He didn't challenge that one. Yep.
So
rookie mistakes, I guess.
Yeah, rookie head coach move, I guess.
We are in evaluation mode.
I got it.
Is rolling with the punches.
But here's my thing, man, and this is what irks me. We've been in evaluation mode since 2017. Let's just be honest. Because this team hasn't really hasn't improved a whole lot since then, in my opinion. You know, we've kind of just been straddling the fence with what we have. Like, there's really been no set forth plan. Like, hey, let's upgrade the talent here. Let's get some players here. Let's be a little greedy. Fuck it. Like, no, we've been doing this.
This is what we were saying of the talent eroding. We clung to 2016 so hard. It was like we were so close, and we could smell the trophy that it was just like, just run it back. And then everybody got hurt. Run it back.
And then 2017 happened, and they were a Julio Jones catching the corner of the end zone away from. They would have returned to the Super Bowl. They would have beat Minnesota in the conference championship.
Let's run it back again.
They would have had a rematch against the Patriots. So like.
But you can't treat it like that. Like, that's why I appreciate what they're doing. It's like, treat a 4-win team like a 4-win team. Should they have been 7-9? Yes. But I'm going to treat this like a 4-win team. And we're going to look at who even belongs on this roster going forward.
That's something that you make that case, Jared, but at the same time, they were also kind of sort of digging a financial hole because of that. They were not pushing forth to bring in certain guys and upgrade talent. We go back to the edge rusher position. They sat for years on Beasley and Tack.
The Dante Fowler signing was a killer.
We paid Vic $13 million for no
reason. A 5th year, man. That is. Dan Quinn's like, it's going to motivate him, and then his lazy ass didn't even show up.
Lazy, and the thing, and
there's that report that they did it to not piss off Grady's reputation.
They were scared to piss off Grady. I was like, if Grady,
terrible way of doing business.
Cool. If you're going to walk because your friend didn't get paid, cool. You're not about the Falcons. You're about you and your friend.
My thing is, and I kind of sort of had a talk the other night with some Falcons fans about this, and I regret having that conversation. But I mentioned it, like, because of them taking that approach with Beasley and Tack, they never brought in proper competition to push these guys
at all.
And it suffered in the depth. And some fans were like, they didn't need to bring in competition. Bullshit. If the money's not getting them to play well, then what else is? A guy that's sitting behind them that's going to take a starting spot. Yeah, that's what's going to make you play.
I'll be right back. Hold on, guys.
They never did that. They sat on it. They said these guys are going to progress.
We're going to make them work.
We're going to make them work. No, guys, it's not working. Okay, Beasley's
roster's more top heavy than Pamela Anderson, man. Jesus Christ, top 8 contracts take up 75% of the cap sheet.
Like, goodness, like Beasley's playing in a charity basketball game, and Tack is going to stick to bull rushing everybody and whatever, dude. All right.
That was my thing. Like, once Vic, you said, oh, I'm going to get Vic to do this and that, and Vic didn't show up for spring. He sat out. It's like, I'd have cut him off of just like
really.
basically. He basically called your bluff, and like it permeated through the rest of the roster. That's the only reason why I'm so for just getting everybody off the team, because it's like they know I could coach.
Jake,
Look
that
at
line
Debo.
was great, man.
Like I like Debo. Debo is a solid linebacker.
I'm done with Debo. I'm sorry.
Best linebacker.
I hear you. I'm with you.
He's late. He's playing lazy as shit this year. I'm done.
He's paid. He's like,
okay, all right. Well, like we just said, if money's not going to get you to play well, you know what else will? We'll get your ass out of here. You can go somewhere else.
That's the only reason why I'm for moving him. Like,
he's got to go, man.
He's been restructured twice this offseason.
Yeah, he got restructured. But you can move him if you trade him. Twice. I think you save like $8 million.
They gotta trade him. That's the only way they're gonna save the money. They can save $10 million.
I'm done with it.
But you gotta try to find a trade partner, and it's just like
somebody to take Debo. Like he's like that's the thing is like
what's a realistic expectation that you can get for him, you think?
3rd round pick.
Third.
Oof. Nah.
May have to be a future.
I don't think
may have to be the year after, but
if it's 2023 third.
I think fourth is probably even generous.
There's your starter. There's your running back.
Yeah, I mean,
Ramondre Stevenson was a 4th round pick.
Hey, you know what you do?
Exactly.
You trade Debo, and you know who you take to replace him? N'Kobe.
No.
He's not getting out of the 1st round, though, is he?
He might go second. He's a will linebacker. I mean, it just happens.
Yeah.
By the way, Trayvon Walker.
They need toughness there.
Don't even act like Trayvon Walker wouldn't be the 2nd best player on this Falcons
right now.
How did I know that Jake was going to go that route? Like it's just
we made it an hour and 30 minutes before I even mentioned it.
I'm sure you were just like, we got to get a bulldog. Look, I'm all for taking Jordan Davis in the 1st round if he's there.
That's who I'm with. I'm like, just get him. Like, I just want somebody who's just gonna like. Because if I keep Grady and I get Jordan, I'm cool with it.
Because this scheme can be very useful for a 335-pound nose tackle that can move like a defensive.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely wants big-bodied guys.
He made it work.
Pretty apparent.
He made it work with Trayvon Walker too, man. Trayvon Walker plays the D line and he drops into coverage. He is so gifted for as big as he is.
I'd rather have Trayvon Walker.
I think
I'd
rather have
hot take, but
yeah, I got Trayvon Walker in like my top 15 players in the whole draft, bro.
Me too.
Dane Brugler's got him at 9.
Give me a guy that's going to remind me of Vince Wilfork. I'll take that. I'll take that for the next team.
Yeah, that's a good comp right there.
We have no ass beaters on the defense. That's the problem. We have no attitude. Like that's the thing. Like Jordan Davis, he's gonna play 2 downs, but I'm gonna kick your ass for 2 downs.
And the Bucks took Vita Vea in the top 10. And to be quite honest with you, Davis is a better prospect. Davis is definitely a better athlete than Vita Vea.
Is he from a pass rushing standpoint?
Yes.
Who, Jordan Davis?
Because if you tell me he played 3 downs.
Vita Vea didn't come out as refined as he is right now. That is a fact.
But he did offer more pass. He did offer the pass rushing. I don't know about Jordan Davis. I've only seen limited.
He does offer the pass rushing. Davis chase down quarterbacks half his size.
But this is how Tampa really
to take him there. He does need to provide something on 3rd downs. He does.
But see, here's the thing. Here's how Tampa utilizes Vita, especially on 3rd downs, in a variety of ways. They let him rush, but they also drop him back into coverage. And that's saying something when you're a nose tackle and you're dropping back into coverage. Not often. It's not every down, but there are sometimes you're seeing him engaging the center and he's dropping back 4 or 5 yards. That tells you what type of
we have a Grady. Like that's the thing. If you keep Grady, you line Jordan Davis up on the center on 3rd down, you have to account for him. And now Grady's 1-on-1.
He's 6'6", 335.
All right. Tough question here.
Okay.
Karlaftis is still on the board. Karlaftis or Jordan Davis?
Jordan Davis.
Wow. No question.
Because here's what Jordan Davis is going to do for the defense. Jordan Davis is going to take.
Same with Aiden Hutchinson too. Would the answer still be the same? Just
no,
that's
no way.
I don't know about that.
Okay, okay.
No
All right.
way.
I'm with Hudson. So Jordan Davis, he takes the double teams away from Grady Jarrett. He keeps the linebackers behind him clean.
But the linebackers still can't be Deion Jones because that won't matter.
They can't be Deion Jones. They can't be Deion Jones. But see, that's why the run fits have been an issue this year because you don't have a nose tackle that's penetrating on your run defense this year. That's why your guys are just getting you. That's why your linebackers are not seen at the second.
They're guessing. Anymore. They're guessing. They're like, all right,
because they're trying to run around blockers. They're not going to need to because Jordan Davis is eating up 3 guys. They're not going to need to run around blockers. They could just sit in the gaps and say, run the football. Let's go.
He's a force multiplier.
Yeah.
For this defense.
Yes.
Not for everybody.
And for this scheme, for this defense, Jordan Davis can do a lot.
I think he's going to end up being a top 15 pick by the time the process is over. But if you want to talk about Jordan Davis in the first round, David Ojabo in the second round.
Oh yes, exactly.
You got a little fire up front.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go.
We got another guest in here, so maybe he can provide some context on the maybe some college grades on some of these players. But let me bring him in here.
Did you expect your guest to kind of stick around a little longer than expected?
We're just rolling 60 now.
Hey, look, if you guys, we can fit 10 in here. So if you guys want to stick around, by all means. But we're gonna introduce Vin to the show. Vin's the manager of the PFF Falcons account over at PFF. Vin, say your last name for me.
Pennsylvania.
All right. Well, Vin, thanks for joining us here. Heading into the third quarter. We want to get some of your thoughts. We'll talk about, I guess, some of the grades.
How bad are the Falcons?
Some of the metrics. But yeah, is there anything positive that the PFF metrics might be putting out right now on this first half for the Falcons?
Well, I mean, you guys are actually getting a pass rush for once.
Oh,
they are.
All right.
We got two sacks.
My stream's been in and out, so I certainly haven't seen.
You got 2 sacks. I mean, you guys had like what,
true.
sacks?
The Darren Hall one. Who's the other one?
Foyer had one. Foyer.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
That's the issue there, Vin. They had 13 sacks on the year, and I think between Dion and Foyer, those two have half the sacks. I think they have like a combined 5 of the 13 sacks this year.
Now, full transparency, I'm not a Falcons fan.
Yeah.
Right.
So, what is the state of your guys' team?
Don't worry.
What is the state?
I'm a Jets fan, so
that's a loaded question. That is a loaded question.
How long you got, buddy?
Yeah. It's going to take into the fourth quarter probably on that one.
I understand this.
Oh, he's a Jets man. Welcome.
So do you want to take this phase by phase? We can start on the offense and then go to the defense and then go to special.
It all started when I was born.
It started in 1966.
Yeah, I made a very poor life decision at age 10, and it's been downhill ever since.
To be honest, I think, and I think all the guys agree with me here, there's a true lack of talent in various spots with this team. It's not just like, hey, they need some upgrades here and there. The entire 2 deep needs a true injection of talent. And they don't have it this year. It's quite obvious, especially on the offensive side of the ball. When you take away a Cordero Patterson,
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably count on one hand. Maybe you dip into the second one, the building blocks you really have on this roster.
Right.
I mean, on offense, Matt Ryan's still playing at a high level. Jake Matthews is Jake Matthews.
Got turf toe, by the way, probably.
He has turf toe?
He missed.
Is that Rosen?
He's only missed 3 games in his career. 2 of them was at turf toe in 2009. So
he's got 10 days for the next game, but
is he not going to play in the second half?
On the
oh no, he's playing. He's out there.
Yeah, what a warrior. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
Matthews, Ryan, Ridley, Pitts.
Grady.
That's the offense. Grady and Terrell are the defense. So that's 6 guys really. Oh, and Lindstrom, 7. I think you can feel very good about
6.
when you who would you take out from that list I just mentioned?
Lindstrom. A guard is not changing your team. I love Lindstrom.
The coach will say otherwise.
Well, but you guys were just saying about drafting a nose tackle in the first round, and like, yes, he could do some good things, but that's not a premium position. So that's why I'm hesitant with Jordan Davis. And Vin, I don't know if you want to add what you can add from the PFF grading scale or anything. Correct me if I'm wrong. If the Falcons took a nose tackle a year after, now again, I love the Kyle Pitts pick, but I'm just going to phrase it this way: a year after taking a tight end, they're going to clown the Falcons some more, whether it's right or wrong. And I feel like you're not getting closer to where you want to be. I think you need to take one of those premium positions. You need to take an edge rusher. You need to take a cornerback, or you need to take maybe an offensive lineman.
That's the thing. That might be the thing with the Falcons, because that's all they've been taking in the first round over
these premium picks.
Is picks at those premium positions. But
they took Lindstrom a couple years ago. That wasn't a premium pick when they had Brian Burns on the board, and we both like Burns. We both wanted Burns.
Yeah.
That was the point where you take the premium pick. It was like take Burns,
right? And this was during a time where they definitely needed that upgrade there. Again, adding that competition, in my opinion. You put a Burns on a roster with Tack and Beasley, I guarantee you those guys probably would have said, all right, you know what? Yeah, let me buckle down here a little bit. But to your point, Matt, like, that's the thing. They've been doing that for so long. They've been focusing on edge and corner.
But I feel like you just continue got to take those swings.
Yeah, so I'm going to jump in with the grades a little bit.
Go ahead.
So just a heads up with PFF, what we are told to do, and so it's a little better. So you get a little more. You don't have like those players that just play a few snaps. We usually do about 25 snaps a game.
Okay.
So Falcons playing, I believe this is their 10th game or 11th. But
10th game.
So with 200 snaps. On the offensive side, you have Patterson with a 90.3 grade, which is elite. You have Matt Ryan at 81.9, which is pretty good. I mean, want that up a little bit, but that's still in a very good spot.
He stepped back, I guess, after that Dallas game, right?
Yeah. And then
he's a bit higher.
And then Lindstrom is third on the offense with a 78.3. Kyle Pitts is fourth with a 78.2.
When your right guard is your third best player, that's a problem. I love Lindstrom. This is no beef with Lindstrom, but you don't take a right guard when you have a player like Brian Burns. What's Brian Burns' score? Can you just let us know?
Just give me one.
I don't think it's that good, but I don't know. Again, that's one of those things where it's like,
we don't have a player of that caliber. Like, it was so clear that he was an elite pass rusher, and we took a right guard.
Yeah, man, that's what I was saying, man. No,
you and I were on the same page.
And you know what's worse? Who's available?
Was like, oh, this is Big Beasley 2.0.
He's another Big Beasley.
Gee.
Yeah. I hated seeing that.
I hated that.
So you said Brian Burns, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brian Burns isn't grading well this year. He's not doing good on the run, especially.
What's his pass rush grade?
His overall defensive grade is 62.5. His pass rush is 73.5.
Yeah, that's
what's Dante Fowler's pass rush grade?
Fowler.
Good God, this offense is brutal to watch, man.
Fowler is his pass rush is a 66.8.
Close enough. Okay.
But I mean, put the contract into play too.
But if you add a Brian Burns with a Dante Fowler, now you got two decent.
Matt, I have a question for you. Salary cap accounting.
I knew
nerd stuff.
So
if he doesn't hit these incentives, how does it affect the cap this year / next year? Are those built?
It won't do anything to the cap if he doesn't hit the incentives.
If he doesn't hit it, it doesn't go against the cap. If he does,
because they were not likely to be earned. It's called not likely to be earned incentives, so they didn't hit the cap ever.
Oh, okay. So it couldn't be rolled over. That's my next question.
No, but the problem is, they cut out the final year of his deal as part of the pay cut, and with that, he has $4 million of dead money next year, regardless of anything. So it's not great,
Yeah,
but at least he's not going to be on the team taking up a larger chunk of the cap. So
going back to what we were just talking about, it absolutely pisses me off to no end when people who just don't really know shit about the draft, as soon as they see a pass rusher they don't like, they're like, oh, he's the next Vic Beasley. I'm like, well, they're
it's
really
one of the more lazy takes that are out there
Burns
these days.
was definitely more refined as an edge rusher coming out of Florida State than Beasley was coming out of Clemson.
Okay, so regardless of the Vic Beasley, Brian Burns debate, I mean, it's kind of funny that it's a thing. That
but
it's Vic Beasley. I mean, they're not wrong.
Ryan is lighting into them on the sidelines, or was
Vic wasn't bad. Vic got lazy. Like, I blame Dan Quinn. Vic could have been great, but Dan Quinn was like, "Oh, you are all pro." Vic was like, "Oh, I'm an all pro," and because we're so desperate for pass rushers, he capitalized on it.
This is what I think it comes down to. It comes down to intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. If a coach has to motivate you, like, you cannot get motivated without somebody externally motivating you, you're never going to be great in this league.
In year 5.
Yes,
you have to be able to motivate yourself. You have to be able to. I mean,
Vic was clearly the type who was, let me just get to the league. Have one good year, I'm good. Vic made what, 15, 20 million bucks? None of us had that. So it's like,
especially with that 50-year option, he cashed in.
You can say this about Tack too, but like, if you suck and you suck, like, all right, that's okay, I guess. Like, it's annoying, but when I watch you out there and you're just giving up on plays and just walking around with your hands on your hips, like, that shit pisses me off. Like,
and they paid him $13 million bucks.
Well, and guys, that's what Deion Jones is kind of doing right now. Too,
that's what he's doing.
Yeah, so that's the frustrating part, and he's gonna,
But what's wild? What's wild? We're gonna get rid of Debo. We're gonna let Foye walk. Foye is gonna be resurgent, just like Devondre Campbell is in Green Bay.
PFF's number 1 linebacker, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm sure Vin didn't get on here to hear us.
Then I want to. Do you have access to some of the real life data of the game? As far as do you know about the touchdown to Aguilar? Was that credited to Terrell? Do you know?
Let me check.
Because it looked like everyone else was in man coverage and Terrell.
I sure hope not. I put out a tweet. I don't know if you saw on the account. I put it on a tweet at 7:30 about Terrell.
What'd you say?
I believe he has 6.3 yards allowed per pass.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like maybe a 15-yard touchdown. It wasn't far.
Anytime I see a Terrell Island tweet, it's an auto retweet from me. But again, going back to that, like, they need to figure out the opposite side of him to really maximize his potential of what he can do.
So that touchdown did go to Terrell.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what
Ogundeji got fitted up by Jonnu Smith.
No,
holding.
Holding.
Did you saw what I saw? I thought he just got fitted. I mean, Jonnu Smith should not be able to handle you. I mean,
I'm with you. Here's my thing. Like, here's what I worry about with AJ.
Even though that was holding, but it was close.
It's the same thing.
Who graded out well for the Falcons in the first half? Can you tell us that?
Well, with grades, they kind of are iffy mid-game. That's why if we usually wait a day because they go through a process. I believe it's like 3 three separate people look at every individual play.
Okay, so there's nothing.
I mean, I could give you some, but I can't guarantee it's going to be
right. It's not. It might change. It's pending. Yeah. It's subject to change, right?
Yeah. So, with the grades so far, I do not know how to pronounce. What is it? Zacchaeus?
Zacchaeus.
Lamade Zacchaeus.
Yeah. Zacchaeus, he's the highest graded offensive player right now at 74.3. And on defense,
that's not good
at all.
Maybe
no. That's not even a high number.
I was gonna say, name a worse player on offense to like really.
What about on defense?
How the game's going.
On defense, technically it's Michael Walker, but he has 3 snaps.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Then
But
you have,
every time he gets a snap, he does.
That was basically the
something good.
story of his season last year.
Somebody
He was
tell
getting
me
snaps,
what
but he
I'm not
always
seeing.
tested really
Somebody
well.
tell
Wait,
me what I'm not seeing.
Let Vin tell us.
yeah. And then Alukin, I believe that's.
Oluokun.
Oh
Okay.
God.
Sorry, I have terrible pronunciation with names.
No, that's
Oh
fine.
no, you're good.
He's really your highest on defense at 85.1. Those are the only guys in the 80s.
He's got a sack.
Can you walk us through maybe the process a little bit, like with sacks and stuff? It's definitely, it weights heavily on a grade, like a positive play like that, right? When a guy
Yes,
gets a sack.
I believe so. I'm not in the process. I don't do the grades, so
Okay.
I can't give you a clear. I know the grades are very controversial at times, to say the least.
I bet. Yeah.
I think that PFF has their positions. They're very good at certain positions, and then there's other positions that maybe necessarily, whether that be the technology or the input from, other people, but sometimes they miss on some people. And it could just be the algorithm. I mean, it's just the formula to, what comes to this. I saw Aaron Freeman talking about Jalen Mayfield, and it's a perfect example of he was just he was dog shit the entire game. I mean, dog shit. And
he got a 90 grade, right?
Yeah, I guess he got a 90 grade, and he pointed out something in the second half, and that's what I'm talking about, where it's like it's mainly the offensive line. The offensive line grades sometimes don't make sense. In my eyes, I mean,
well, and especially you have a game like they did against Dallas where everything went wrong. Like nothing's good. There's no reason to really talk about the grades or anything of a game like that. You just throw it out.
Yeah,
Have you seen that, Ben? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the grading. I mean, I'm gonna full transparency. I started with PFF right before preseason.
Yeah.
So I kind of got thrown into it, just obviously understanding it. I've been a football fan for years, so I understand people's gripes with the grading and everything. I believe PFF has its spots. Obviously, it can't be your end-all, be-all. But I think the more advanced you want to go, PFF is a great spot for that. Not going to show for my company as much. Obviously, a lot of people know PFF for what they are. But
I love it. Yeah.
No, and having the
I love it. I
Collinsworth
agree. To be
and
fair, I mean, nobody's doing what PFF's doing. I mean,
no,
it's incredible. I think the quarterback grading is so good. I think that is their best position is quarterback, which is the most positions or is the most important position. So, I mean,
and so with that said, I mean, hey, look at Matt Ryan's grades, and to do that consistently for however many years he has, and I mean, look, that's why, like, when we're talking Hall of Fame from 10 or so years from now,
let's talk about this. Let's.
I think that the fact that the PFF era is a thing right now, like it's big and it's growing, and Matt Ryan has always fared pretty well in terms of PFF. I'm hoping there's always that one person on the Hall of Fame panel that has to champion and pound the table for a certain player. And look, I don't know if PFF has any representatives, but hopefully in the future they do, because that would certainly bode well for Matt Ryan's chances.
I think Matt is going to miss the boat on that shift. I feel like Matt is the perfect transition quarterback of analytics. He's the analytics quarterback. He is the proof of I have been Hall of Fame caliber and never had a defense. If Matt had a defense once or twice.
But you're saying he's gonna miss the mark, even though like analytics are growing and are continued to be a growing thing, especially when
because all of the marks he's hitting, right? By the time he gets to the point where it's like, okay, we're voting on Matt for Hall of Fame, his records are going to be broken.
What are you doing?
And so it's stuff like that where it's like,
dude, Quadra's earning snaps.
Yeah, I mean, it will be interesting because when he is up for induction, which again, assuming he plays till he's 40, which is like 4 years from now, and then he's eligible 5 years after that point. So we're talking 9 to 10 years. I don't know if his records are going to be broken at maybe. Oh, everyone's
Matt just led. You'll see it in a second.
So should I chug this mead right now? What's left of this mead? Is that
or somebody ran the wrong route? But that's something I've never
I am still a couple plays away. Hulu, you are really.
Oh my God!
You're not getting any great advertisement from me on this show.
I'm with you, Jake. It's like,
you're way behind. I'm on a random screen, and I'm ahead of you.
Is it a turnover? I've said this question is it a turnover?
No.
But
yeah, I mean, just to jump in on the Matt Ryan Hall of Fame case, I don't see him as a Hall of Fame quarterback. The way I do it,
I was just about to ask this. I want everybody's unbiased. Eric, I need the unbiased version.
No, let's go. Vin was talking.
No, yeah.
I think that's tough to do. Like we are Falcons fans, Vin. So
it's tough.
Well, and you, Alex. So yeah, let's get Vin. All right, let's let Vin talk. Vin, what are your thoughts?
So I mean, I kind of view Matt Ryan in an Eli Manning situation. I mean, obviously he has the MVP and everything, but what I try to do when I try to evaluate that type of stuff is I take away your best season and your worst season and try to go off of that, trying to see more of a range.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ, that could have been a big play.
And yeah, that could have been. But Matt Ryan,
two guys converging there, though.
You should talk about this more. I don't know if somebody said this before, but that is a great way to look at Hall of Fame resumes.
Like that design is questionable, though.
Seriously, Vin, that is incredible. I love that. That is a perfect reason, a perfect logic to me.
So
that makes sense to me.
I guess one thing I'd say is, and this is a very forgotten season, but his 2018 season where Matt Ryan was close to matching a lot of his MVP numbers from 2016, I think will get overlooked. I mean, it gets overlooked even by Falcons fans, I'd say. So yes, you could take away 2016, and I don't know which one you would select as his worst one. Maybe 2013 or 2015 or 2009 sophomore slump year. But
that's statistically that's his worst year.
He's got that 2018 one to hold on to with a second time offensive coordinator, which we won't get into my thoughts on that whole scapegoat situation, but I think he's a much better quarterback than Eli Manning, biased or not. Eli's got the 2 rings because he had the 2 playoff runs, but you look at Matt Ryan's playoff run in 2016, and again, he's a quarter away. Then all right, here's a question: They finished the job in that Super Bowl. Does your answer change?
It might. I mean, he's like
orange. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That wins the Super Bowl. He's a shoe-in.
And I mean, it also depends what he does.
Sad.
I mean, it depends on what he does in that Super Bowl. I mean, if he goes out,
look at what he did in that Super Bowl, though.
Yeah,
he had one of the top passer ratings.
If he doesn't get hit, Devontae Freeman makes the block. He hits the shot to Aldrick Robinson. He has the best postseason run ever.
Yeah,
and this is non-biased.
He does. He would eclipse Joe Flacco's year.
I don't know. I mean, does he eclipse Nick Foles at that point?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Well, he predated Nick Foles, but
I think he's right there. You got me there. I mean, he did do well. Nick
Foles is only popular because of the trick play.
He checks every box except the team imploded.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he had 9 touchdowns, no picks that postseason run.
Yeah, in 3 games.
He had a rushing touchdown too, so 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like it was nuts. And if they win, they give Matt
changes everything, and that's what makes that even tougher for Falcons.
Could you imagine? Matt was MVP, Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, he would have been. He would have been Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, that's a Hall of Famer. Eric, you're on mute. Eric, you're on mute.
Here's my thing when it comes to Matt Ryan and his Super Bowl case. Right now, if you look at the major quarterback stats, yards, touchdowns, passer rating, things of that nature,
he's going to be top 5.
He's top 10 already right now.
Yeah.
And I look at the quarterbacks that are surrounding him, and he is better statistically in a number of categories than guys that are in the Hall of Fame that don't have Super Bowl rings. You look at certain categories, you see guys like Jim Kelly, Hall of Famer. You see guys like Warren Moon. It's a different game. However, everybody wants to lean on stats when it comes to that, but he has better numbers than these guys who are in, who don't.
I think that's what's going to ruin his case is because as the game goes, people are going to pass him by the time he's eligible.
Well,
that's all.
People passed Warren Moon and Jim Kelly, but they
still
I
agree.
Got in.
Matt passed him, right?
I just don't like. I don't like when people use the Super Bowl as a reason not to put him in. I can name you so many. Fran Tarkenton is in the goddamn Hall of Fame. Fran Tarkenton doesn't have a Super Bowl ring. Like there's so many Hall of Famers.
Damn good dog.
I'm gonna ask you. This is my guy. I went to high school with him. We played together. Is Cam Newton a Hall of Famer?
Nope.
Same.
No, I don't think
Cam Newton is kind of like Michael Vick, but he has more numbers. It's like Cam kind of, revolutionized the quarterback position a little bit, like Mike did. But yeah, I just don't think he has the accolades.
But it's hard to look at when you're top 10 in passing yards, passing touchdowns, passer rating, completion percentage, and you say he's not a Hall of Famer. Well, why is he not? If the numbers, what a blitz.
And my, I did an article a couple years ago looking at the Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and the research that kicked out was that the common denominator is 5 Pro Bowls and at least 1 All-Pro season. Now, Matt's short on the Pro Bowl seasons. And that's another thing that grinds my gears a little bit.
We're gonna trash the Pro Bowl every year and not watch it, but we're gonna dangle it over somebody's head.
Well, yeah, and you're exactly right, Eric. And that's the problem is it does matter. People say the Pro Bowl doesn't matter, and it doesn't in the fact that it's just an exhibition game, but it does matter for legacies. Like, what is one of the first things you say about a player when he's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame is how many Pro Bowls did he have?
Yeah, well, that is also, I believe that you have to make a Pro Bowl in order to be on the ballot.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
No, I didn't.
Which is crazy.
But with Matt Ryan's case, it's hard. It's harder because you have to compare him. I hate the saying, you have to compare him to the guys in his era.
He's got 4. Are we going to bust him over sudden? He's 4.
And the only reason he doesn't have 5 is because he was hurt and he dropped out.
It's 4.
Yeah, no, when
you say compare him to the guys in the era, though,
he's got a point. But I think does that mean he can't include?
Yeah, I want to hear this. Yeah.
Let them go.
Yeah, I mean you got to compare him to the guys in the era, and you can't put every single. I know you can't put every guy.
Well, no. Why can't you add a couple more extra guys in a particular era when?
Yes, let's go. Good shit, bro.
I mean, you can, but
okay. Well, let me ask you this, Vin. Is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer?
Phillip Rivers? No, I don't think.
Did we get like a turnover?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it Terrell? Did Terrell get his first?
Yes. I've been begging for
him. Did he take it to the house?
He did. He got close. He got a good return. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna watch it right now. Come on.
Don't give the play away.
Oh, let's go.
I'm not there yet.
Play.
My bad.
Eric, how are you not there? You got to move your status bar.
I did.
Now let's just retweet.
I don't know why Hulu is doing this.
Retweet my own tweet.
Do your thing. So Vin, you say Phillip Rivers is not a Hall of Famer?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that's fair.
Well,
that's consistent.
At least you're consistent.
You're consistent.
No, I mean I try. I mean I'm also the guy who died on the hill of saying Drew Brees is better than any quarterback ever. I died on that hill. I learned my mistakes, but I mean, it's just.
That's not an awful take. I've heard much worse takes.
I have to. But.
Here's one thing that I like to say about the Hall of Fame too.
I wish Eric Harris would bought somebody. That would be nice.
If you were ever the best guy at your position for a year,
or 1 year,
especially at quarterback, which Matt was, undisputed MVP that year, I think that really helps.
Well, and you got to.
That's what I asked about Cam.
I want to add on top of that because Cam's had an MVP, like Rich Gaines.
I feel like they're parallels. I feel
if you have an MVP season plus you've had sustained success for the body of time that Matt has, like you put those two together, that MVP means a little bit more. It wasn't a fluke because again, I point to that 2018 season. Look at Matt's numbers there; they're very close to the 2016 year, but he doesn't get the credit because the team got off to like a 1-4 start, and
I feel like you get penalized if Matt and Kyle were paired together. As long as Breeze and Peyton were paired together, it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. Drew Brees was not a Hall of Famer.
And like I want to tout the article that The Athletic had. Mike Sando had a nice piece that finally it got the light of day. You talk about the defensive support that a quarterback has gotten. You know, Mike
He's
went
never had
through
a good defense.
And Matt was second last as far as least amount of defensive support. Only Derek Carr, I guess, had less. But, you know, Matt's been doing it for 14. Derek's been doing it for, 7 or so, 8 or so. So for 14 years, Matt has never had the defensive support. And yet his teams are still, you know, he's what's been 6 playoff bursts. I know they've had a drought.
I'd say you put Matt Ryan on the Ravens from 2000 to 2012, and he's a 4-time Super Bowl champion.
Easy,
maybe not many because of Birdy, but
you give Matt a couple good top 15 defenses. He doesn't even need top 10. Just show up on Sundays.
I mean, shit, those Raven teams, that was top 1,
right? And I think that's the thing is like people are like, oh, Matt's ass, like Matt's terrible, like get him out of here. And I'm like, he's carrying. Matt has to show up every time.
This point was interesting. I've said that Matt Ryan's career can go a couple of different ways, 2 ways. He could be the Jim Kelly of his era where he just came up short, or he could finish it.
I just want to know
John Elway
why are you taking Jim? I just want to know why you taking Jim Kelly.
I'd love to know why, because I think Warren Moon's a different type of player, but Jim Kelly and Matt Ryan, I think if you compare their eras,
why
Jim Kelly
had a much better team, right, guys? Right?
He had
that's not a
much
reach.
better team. He had
Hall of Famers.
He definitely had Thurman Thomas, James
Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, Bruce Smith on the defense.
And they were losing. They lost in the Super Bowl.
They lost.
Marv Levy, Hall of Fame coach. Bill Polian, Hall of Fame GM.
I don't think Jim Kelly does. Jim Kelly doesn't have a league MVP award.
Did he have OJ?
No,
I think that was way before. That was after
2 decades before him.
Yeah, OJ was.
Okay,
yeah.
But Jim, I don't want to.
But hey, we got to get OJ in the discussion, right? I mean, it's not a.
He said, "Got it somehow."
You got to fit him.
Kyle thinks is limping. I'm going to bed.
That looks like a playable limp.
And since people want to sit here and throw out.
Let's go up tempo, please.
Quarterback wins as a stat. Technically, Matt has a better postseason record than Jim Kelly, of course.
He has a better postseason record than like Aaron Rodgers, I'm pretty sure.
Right. So why are you taking Jim Kelly?
Talk about it, Alex. Talk about it.
If the 2010 Falcons had a defense, Aaron Rodgers never gets a Super Bowl.
True. And I'm an owner of the Packers, so I would not.
I would have been a much happier person if that was the case.
The best quarterback ever, and he only has one. And he's
and I mean, I know it's early in his career, but Mahomes, you never know. Mahomes might only get one. Like you can't, you just never know, and
you'll never win with defenses that are like terrible. Like that's
he's gonna have similar issues.
Did anybody hear what I just said? I said it kind of quietly.
Yeah, they just eclipsed 100 yards. Yeah,
we just now got 100 yards. There's 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Hey, we're only down. It's a 2-possession game.
Hey, is this the third game of Ridley being on IR?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he comes back regardless.
I don't think he's gonna come back.
No, I think it's he's out for the year.
Well,
he can come back. He can come back, but I don't think he will.
I don't know if he will. I don't know if he will.
I think he'll come back next year.
That's my thing. Like people give Arthur Smith crap. I'm like, look, he signed up in January and was
there's a lot that's happened to him, right?
I'll take the job. I've got Julio. I've got Ridley. I've got a top 5 pick.
By the way, Julio wants out, and Ridley's going to take a break from the season halfway, a quarter.
This is not what he signed up for.
And if you would have told
he knew that, I would say he knew the Julio thing at least.
Well, the Julio he did. That was reported, but again, you talk about an offense without those two, and you're 4 and 5. I mean,
Yeah,
I probably would have taken that.
I want to say these nice things about Arthur Smith, and then he does what he just did, and I want to slap the hell out of him.
So to your credit, Ben, I'm pretty sure, he knew about the Julio thing, but it was more so like, okay, Julio wants out. We're still going to build.
Once again asking, was it a turnover?
We're still going to build around Calvin and Kyle. And
there's no way they just called that, bro. They didn't get it.
A month into the season?
Sure.
Jared's clapping.
Why are you
4th and
clapping,
1. No, we did not get that shit. Why would you call a fullback dive and then a fucking quarterback sneak, bro?
Wait, it's a sarcastic clap.
I love it.
Yeah.
Look, it's exposing what you need. I'm all for it.
This is no better. This is no better than the Dirk Cutter Falcons when I was saying, coach the team you have, and they're not doing it. They're not a smash mouth, run it up the middle team.
But that's where I disagree. Coach the team you want.
They're a zone wide zone team, or they should be.
But if you hired me to be this, right? You hired me to prolong Matt's career, to be a smash mouth team, to be the Titans.
But that's not what I was signing up for with Arthur Smith. Maybe you were, but that's not what I was thinking. I'm thinking I'm getting a Shanahan offshoot offense.
But and that's where we disagreed all season. I'm like,
I guess, yeah.
If I can't run smash mouth at Hennessy, I need a new center. If I can't run the team,
you can't. I could tell you watching. I mean, the college eval, he's not a smash mouth guy.
But
did you?
But
see
now I know, right? He's not. He's a zone guy.
Oh Jesus, Hennessy's 4 yards into the backfield.
He's bully.
Yeah. But so what do you're fitting a square peg into a round hole then if you're trying to be smash mouth with him.
But I get that.
And Jake's not a smash mouth guy. Jake Matthews does not move guys off the ball.
But Jake Matthews is bad. Jake Matthews is a bad
whoa. I'm gonna remove you from that.
He is a bad run blocker.
He's not.
He's a poor run blocker.
No, he is a bad run blocker.
He is a bad run blocker, and he's been a bad run blocker pretty much his entire career.
His whole career.
Vin, look up his run.
Well, no, I know. Vin will tell us he's not a good run blocker. That's the reason Matthews' grades are not.
Here's my thing, right? Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot have a 1 year get out of jail free card, and Arthur Smith is using it. Hennessy just got blown up for 4 yards.
Well, yeah,
and they must have it. And so we're finally good, right? We're finally good, but Hennessy's still your center. It's 4th and 1 for the Super Bowl. Hennessy's gonna get blown up because that's what he does in that situation.
I'm running a duo block. If you need to get a yard, I'm running a duo block.
But if that's not his game, if that's not his scheme, I agree with you.
He ran a little bit of it in Tennessee. Like he wasn't just zone, but
a little bit.
Ahead, Ben, what you're gonna say grades?
You said for Matt Hennessy?
Well, Matt Hennessy and Matthew.
Has to be Matthews. 24, right, for Hennessy.
I mean, Hennessy's graded pretty decently as a run blocker, I think, which is weird. Not
as a run blocker, he's graded 74.3 at the moment.
Yeah, and that's
and then pass block is 52.3. So
and that's the reason his grade isn't as high as it maybe could be. I mean, he's a
top.
Is he a top 15 center right now?
I could check, but for Jake Matthews, it essentially flipped. The grades.
Like he's a great pass blocker, which again, if you're going to want one or the other, you want the better pass blocker. So that's why, I'm okay with Jake. That's also another reason why the zone blocking needs to be more prevalent is because Jake out in space is much better than Jake trying to go mano-a-mano with the guy in front of him.
Matt, let me ask you this. In this kind of offense, wouldn't you want to be able to rely on the run, rely on your left tackle to get you 3 yards and then, build the entire
Guys, I'm not saying don't run in that situation. I'm saying
run
don't
left.
run that play in that situation.
Run left.
This offense cannot run left. Thank you.
Can't
this
run
offense
left.
can't run
Then run
left.
stretch right. Stretch right.
That's it. That is it. But
that's not what they've been doing in these situations. They've been running it straight up the middle.
But I think that's why I'm fine with it, because it's exposing their own team. They have to expose their own team right now.
But Jarrett, they've already been exposed by the previous coaching staff of these things. That's why I'm mad, because I tweeted out, coach the team you have. You know your team. Like, I know their team cannot run straight up the middle. So why does this new coaching staff need to know that? Shouldn't they
It's not their team. I don't think Jake is long for this team. I don't think Hennessy is long for this team.
I think Jake is. Hennessy, we'll see. I think Hennessy, the center competition might be an open battle again. But Jake is definitely.
Jake's got one more season here.
So Matt Hennessy.
I don't think that's going to age well. I don't think it's going to age well, but all right.
I'm going to tweet it. I said the same thing about Trufant. I said the same thing about Debo last season. I was like, you see they don't fit. You see, they want to be physical. They want to be aggressive. They want to take the game over when they want to take the game over. And you had too many players who are finesse that want to just like get out in space. I'm like, I like it. Jake is just not a fit for the scheme.
Coach with Bruce Matthews. I don't see him doing it.
Give us a stat.
Consistent as
all right,
jump in here, Ben.
Yeah. So for centers,
me and Jared,
Matt Hennessy is 15th in offensive grade, which is the stat we use.
What number? I'm sorry.
He's 15th out of center, so he's league average.
He's
right above Matt Paradis.
I'm going to take about
Ben Jones for the Titans.
You dropping out, Eric? All right, man.
I can't watch
really appreciate you.
I can't watch this anymore. I'm sorry.
I don't blame you. Although I guess they got another stop though, didn't they? Or did they go for it?
It's still 13-0.
Yeah. Again, I wish.
This is rough.
I wish so bad that they challenged that spot on that 3rd and 1 early in the second quarter. That really pisses me off.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Eric. Thank you, sir.
That's it.
It's been great.
I remember when I said we should have used our 2nd round pick on Creed Humphrey, and he's PFF's #1 rookie in like the entire
he's
NFL.
the #1 center right now. He has a 90.5 grade.
Yeah, that'd be sweet right now.
It would be cool, but
hey,
again,
he's playing. All right. No.
It goes back to what I'm saying, though. It's like
Matt. Wait, he's playing against the 3rd, 2nd best outside of PFF. Joe Thuney is a top 3 guard in this league, and that helps a lot.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point.
I mean, a lot.
We got
he's
we lose one guest. We're gonna bring our guy to finish off the show for us,
Scott Karasic.
Rather than Scott Karasic.
Jared, I just want to tell you something, man. You are 100% wrong about Jake Matthews. That man's been holding his own this year.
Let him have it. Hey, don't, Jared, you can stop now. You don't have to tweet that out.
Like,
not many people are going to see that show.
Scott have gone back like a decade, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like you sitting here thinking Jake Matthews is the problem. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
He's not the problem. Hang on.
He's the only offensive lineman that's doing his damn job.
Let me say this. Hang on. He's not the problem. Yet he's not the solution.
Can we give Scott a proper introduction?
I hate that phrase. I want to beam that phrase into the sun.
He is.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? I don't even like people throw that out with Matt Ryan. He's not the problem, but he's not the solution. What the hell does that mean?
Matt Ryan can't win games on his own.
Matt Ryan has won them all 4 of their games.
Yeah, he really.
I mean, at least 3 of them with the game-winning drives.
Think about it like this.
How are we talking about? All right. Let's bring it back. I want to ask.
Think about it like this. If you had to take every single quarterback and you were just starting over with a mediocre roster, there's only like 6 or 7 quarterbacks in this league that are going to immediately make every single roster in this league a playoff team. There's like 6 or 7 of them. Maybe. Matt Ryan's not one of them. That's not to say he isn't great or good. It's just he's not that
guy anymore. He was at one point.
I don't know, guys. I see a guy that just carried his team to 4 wins. But anyways, I want to ask Scott, what are your thoughts on this offensive line? Do you think they're trying to be a smash mouth? Or I guess backing up about Arthur Smith and his
they run like 60% zone read or zone plays, right? So I think they'd like to run more, but they don't have the running back personnel more than anything else. I think that's a bigger issue than the actual offensive line personnel. They don't have a zone back at all. Mike Davis is trash. Quadri Allison can barely see the field. Cordero Patterson's the only guy that breaks off big runs, and it's because it's those zone runs. When they call those zone runs in the right spot, it's fine. If it's
Mike Davis,
I think the bigger
played
issue
just
is the play
fine
call.
last year in Carolina, and they had more zone runs than the Falcons probably had this year. I mean, they had zone.
The bigger issue is the play calling. First and 10, run play.
Yeah, I'm with you. Arthur Smith has left a little bit to be desired. Now, again, he's working out some kinks of being a rookie head coach. But again, I said it before you came on. It's a lot of the same stuff I was yelling at Dirk Cutter for. You're seeing with Arthur Smith with, again, coach the team you have. Short yardage situations. If you're going to run the ball, run what your offense is supposed to be good at, the zone stuff.
Yeah.
But
I think they're coaching. They're coaching the team that they want.
Now, by the way,
they're coaching the team they want. They're giving. I feel like I said it in the offseason. This year was always going to be a throwaway. They said, we can win," but it was always about how can we win? We're not going to win that.
A schedule full of bad teams is the way that they're going to get to the playoffs if they get there. You know, they're going to beat Jacksonville. They're going to beat Detroit. Fair. They could beat San Fran. They could probably beat Carolina or New Orleans once more.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Like, that's 4 games. But 8 and 9 might make the playoffs as the 7th
wins
seed.
was always the ceiling. I said it. I was consistent. I was like, 8 wins was the ceiling, but it was never enough talent on the team and the roster. And the fact that their first free agent signing was Josh Andrews, I was like, okay, we're not here to win.
To a vet minimum deal.
We're not here to win.
Your first free agent signing doesn't mean anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's to a vet minimum deal,
it was day one of free agency, and they announced
it was a vet minimum deal. They were just like, "Hey, we did something," so that fans would just shut up.
I mean, I think they were just trying to build like a building block.
There's something to be said for fans being like, "Oh, we want something. Just give us something."
Okay, they do not. All right, nobody in any organization in any professional sport is signing players based on the fan base.
Thank you.
But I don't
know if you ever see the New York Mets.
They are announcing players.
The New York Mets. Did they go through 3 GMs in one calendar year?
What the heck?
That's an
I believe they technically did.
That's a pig.
I think they did 3 technically. Yeah.
Yeah, like one had the workplace misconduct, and
one that was drinking on. They got a DUI.
Yeah. So, hey, I guess it could be worse, guys.
Nothing about this season has surprised me. Like, it's literally who is capable of playing the kind of football that they want to play going forward. And they're going to clean house.
Yeah, I guess I just disagree with the philosophy on what they
Deion
want from their
Jones
team. I don't think they want to be smash mouth, but we'll see. If they want to be smash mouth, it's going to take them a while because they really have to just
why'd they draft Jalen Mayfield is my question. He's a zone guy all through.
Welcome, Scott. Welcome.
Well, yeah, you could have just stopped that at.
Why'd they draft Drew Dahlman? He's zone guy through and through.
Matt,
why do they like Matt
Jalen
Hennessy
Mayfield?
so much?
Alex,
he's dumpy. He's dumpy. All right, I need another drink, guys. Hold the fort down. Hold the fort down. I'll be right back.
Scott, we had this discussion about Jalen Mayfield and Drew Dahlman and not taking Trey Smith. So welcome.
I have to leave in a few minutes, so I want to ask a quick question from actual fans.
Yeah, for sure.
So Matt Ryan has a potential out, right? This year?
He ain't leaving.
I think it's after.
Well, I'm saying,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's
like 40 million dead cap.
Yeah,
it's 40 million dead cap.
Yeah, it's 40 million dead cap. One, do you think he does that, and the organization decides to rebuild?
No.
I think after this year, when the quarterback class is in complete trash in the draft, they might do it. Now they might say, let's punt another year and get a top pick for the 2023 quarterback class. It's going to have like Bryce Young and a couple of really good players in it. But I don't know if they're going to do the whole suck for luck thing, or if there's a guy that's worth doing the suck for luck thing.
I forgot which mock draft I was looking at, but I know at least one. I think it was CBS had the Falcons drafting the quarterback out of Liberty. in the first round.
I like Malik Willis, but he's not a franchise guy unless you keep Matt Ryan and have Willis sit behind him for a year to really learn how NFL quarterbacks play.
I think if you take Malik Willis, that's a 2-year play. I think he's a Jordan Love play. Like, I love Malik Willis. I would love Malik Willis in Atlanta, but Malik Willis would need to learn from Matt of how to be look at Mac Jones. I shit on Mac Jones all offseason.
Mac Jones played for Saban, man. He knew how to play in the NFL.
He was ready. It's a difference. The NFL is so different, and you need somebody to learn from.
Especially Liberty. Liberty.
Liberty.
That guy is not playing football.
He's playing
having
us.
fun. He's just having fun. That's all he's doing.
Pretty much.
So it's like, yeah, like if they take a quarterback and they take Malik Willis, I'm all for it. But you still extend Matt, let Matt play another 2-3 years. There's no rush. But if they don't, you got chances. Chances go, like, think about it. Mahomes was what, the 11th pick, 12th pick?
Yeah, something like that.
Mac
That
Jones
was
was
the pick in there.
pick. And
Yeah.
Mac
I'm
Jones might
really,
be the
I'm
best
really glad
quarterback
we did this
so far.
stream for no other reason than this game would have been hard to watch.
So they were driving, and then Ryan threw a pick on a deep ball.
he
But
sailed the ball.
It was more or less a punt.
I'm gonna read something to y'all. I don't know if you've seen this yet, and I want you to guess who said this, because it's one of the 3 dumbest things I've ever heard in my fucking life. It's up there.
Hope it's not
PFF already.
It's not PFF. No, you guys are good.
No,
Why is
it's
hashtag? Here we go. Why is hashtag Falcons right tackle McGarry on the guy with 9.5 sacks? Matt Judon came into the game with 9.5 sacks. Something. He ran right around McGarry. Should call him McScary. That kind of sounds like Skip Bayless now that I read it out loud, but it's not. I promise. Why is McGarry on Matt Judon? Someone is posing this question. I want you to get to it.
Yeah, because that's how football works.
Is it Aaron Freeman?
No, Aaron would be.
Oh man!
I was gonna say that sounds like a D-led question.
It's absolutely D-led. It is.
I love Aaron.
Oh, I just saw.
For the record.
No, it's not. I don't even
go.
Someone
I posted it. What is he talking about?
I mean, D-led's a schmuck, so he would post that kind of stuff.
But I can't even. Like,
he's asking why.
I can't even give him
McGarry's
credit
not...
for like being creative enough to like say McScary. Like that's not creative, but like
no, it has nothing to do with that. He said, why is McGarry on Matt Judon? That's the question he asked.
Oh man!
Because Matt Judon plays the left side and McGarry plays the right side.
Like McGarry.
McGarry always stays at right tackle. D-led. Is this your first time watching a football game?
Kind of sounds like it. That's a horrible hold.
Because Bill Belichick knows how to do his job.
All right, I gotta maybe attract. Maybe I gotta tweet something out.
All right, guys, I gotta head out. But thanks again for having me on.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much.
If you ever want me back on, just you know where to hit me up. I'm more than down.
Yeah, keep killing it at the PFF Falcons. We appreciate the content you guys put out. Thank you.
Definitely appreciate it. All right, I'll see you guys. See you guys later.
Pick number 2 right here.
Have a good one.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean they had their chances in this game.
They had more than enough chances in this game.
It's just
it should be
Richie
10-0 right now.
This is one of those games where
Richie.
It reminds me of 2017 when everybody was like, "Oh, the defense is great. You know, if we would score 20 points, we would win." And it's like the defense only gave up 13, and the offense didn't show up. Right?
Yeah, I think this might again.
I think
I haven't been paying close attention,
like
but I think this is one of those games where you could make that case. It's like the defense held its own.
This is more like 2019. Maybe this game is like 2017.
Like you couldn't say that in the Carolina
2019.
Yes, I was about to say this is more of like the offense just doesn't have anything. You're going out there with Kyle Pitts. That's it, and they know it, and so it's like Belichick's not an idiot.
And he's running triple coverage brackets on Pitts the whole game.
The whole game.
Which he should, because we have 100 and some yards. It's working.
Jake.
Hey, at least this game's going to be over before 11 p.m.
I buzzed out when you were saying that tweet and guessing who it was, and I'm literally on Twitter, and that tweet just popped up, and that's fucking hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, who pays that guy? Who pays that guy?
They pay him because he takes $40K a year and he's basically retired from a law job. That's why they pay him. That's the true story behind D-Led. He takes cheapo pay and lives off his 401k, and it's his retirement job, and he treats it like it.
Yeah, seriously. Kevin replied, and he said, "You got." I
wish they had Jason Butt instead, and they had him for a little bit, and then.
They should replace him with Will McFadden, but that's just my thought.
I got a friend who worked with him, worked with D-Led. He actually worked with Von McClure, RIP.
I can't
Vaughn
believe this is a real tweet. I can't.
You know when Vaughn first got to the team, some of the members of the team were saying, that guy from the AJC, well, he doesn't give us good play, so let's go with the ESPN guy who actually wants to do this, and we're going to give him the inside scoop. And D-Led's just going to be there, quote unquote, doing his job.
Crazy.
I mean, Schultz pretty much does the same thing. Schultz just fucking bitches all the time about everything. So.
Yeah, Schultz is another one.
This was crazy.
13. Now, Schultz probably said something that was somewhat smart. Why are you leaving McGarry out there alone against Judon? Why doesn't he have a chip or a that's a tight end there? That's a reasonable thought.
So I can see if I have a right tackle.
I mean, I get that, but at the same point,
but Jared, I feel like there should be enough evidence to know one way or another.
Eric Harris blitzed that. Oh, sorry, I forgot to talk about that.
But think about it, right?
And that was what was kind of crazy is because Dean Pease made the comment that he didn't watch any film on the defense that he was inheriting last year. Can you? I mean, maybe Jared, you can explain, or one of you guys can explain why that might make sense.
Doesn't at all.
It doesn't.
Okay. Yeah.
He watched.
I mean,
so I think
doing
that's the thing is the coaches speak to the media. They speak to the players through the media, right? Where it's oh, I'm not judging you off of last year. I'm not judging you off of this. I'm not judging guys like Dante Fowler.
Blouses.
It's look, I'm not judging you off of, you having what do you have? 3 sacks? It's I'm coming in, you got a clean slate. But Dean Pease knew exactly what he had. And you saw it week 1. He coached against the Eagles so scared. I was Jalen Hurts can't throw deep. I tweeted it.
They didn't make him beat them. They just let him.
And it's you saw he had a career game versus the Falcons. And then the rest of the season, teams have dared him to win deep. And he hasn't. And it's
he beat the Bengals deep, didn't he?
Yeah, no. That's why I wouldn't even call it a career game. It's because they just let him take the checkdowns and the screens and the dump offs.
Yeah.
And
if you beat me deep, if you beat me left-handed, I can live with it. I can live with it if Jalen Hurts was just bombing on the Falcons left and right. Cool.
They're running the wrong scheme. They need to be running that old Jim Johnson 4-3 heavy blitz scheme. We haven't seen an NFL team in years.
I think the heavy
that's
blitzing
the right thing.
It was in the future or the cards.
They don't have the man coverage guys.
They don't have
outside Terrell.
That's exactly right, and that's why it's if you are going to value one or the other, I think trying to find more secondary players over the pass rushers.
You need more than just bodies at pass rush, though.
Well, no, and I'm not saying you just totally neglect it, but I'm saying what do you prioritize right now? I think you need the coverage guys first to really
have at least replacement level guys and above replacement level guys in coverage right now. If you just play them in Hawkins, in Grant,
well, yeah,
even Avery Williams is better than some of these guys. If Oliver comes back, he's a solid nickel. Williams and Hall
I hope they bring Oliver back.
Solid.
I think
for me, it's you got to get something above replacement level at pass rush. You need a John Abraham. You need a guy who can carry the pass rush.
So, if you're the GM in the first round,
we have Dante Fowler.
You need John Abraham. You don't need Dante Fowler.
Are you taking? I'm assuming you've looked at what's probably going to be available in the first round of the draft.
It depends on who's there.
Are you taking George Karlaftis over Sauce Gardner, the cornerback from Cincy?
100%. Because Karlaftis can actually create pressure, and he's that other end on the line next to Grady Jarrett. So you have more than just your base level, shit defensive ends. Like,
I guess it comes down to how deep is the draft at edge rusher? Because maybe you get a guy like I think it's Jermaine Jones or Jermaine Johnson from FSU
and DGD
at pick, whatever their second round pick is. Because again, I can go either way, but
or you could go wide receiver at that first second round pick and hope a guy like Mechie falls to you. And I think Mechie makes a bigger difference on the team than Jermaine Johnson does.
The wide receiver. I don't know.
You need a wide receiver. You have.
Well, no, they do, but I wouldn't prioritize it over Jermaine Johnson.
I would if you want to make Matt Ryan actually not die.
Well, I think making Matt Ryan not die is.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Give him someone who can get open, so he didn't have to hold on to the ball 4 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. It's crazy how things are just breaking down.
They evaluate it the way that we absolutely don't. So they kind of evaluate it like, think of it like baseball WAR, where it's, they're evaluating exactly what you said, Scott. You're thinking the right thought processes, but there's no way a wide receiver has more of an effect on a team's wins share than a cornerback or an edge rusher. There's no way. Yeah. There's no wide receiver in the league.
Not on this team.
I agree with you, but at the same point, it's about building a roster that actually works. And an offense that could actually move the ball can help the defense stay off the fucking
So you think the offense is more of the problem?
I think the offense is 100% more of the problem.
I think you would be alone in that argument.
I disagree.
I
get the argument, but I disagree.
I think the personnel is worse on defense, but I think
because
the
again,
is more of the
are
problem.
you like
because
Calvin Ridley comes back, Kyle Pitts is there?
And if Ridley comes back and Kyle Pitts is there and Patterson comes back, that's all great. But you still
why do you need to have four?
Here's my counter.
Of course, Ryan throws a pick six that pops off someone's hands.
Here's my counter.
What the hell?
We lost the game last season or 2 seasons ago, scoring 40 points. We scored 40 points and lost. We scored 35 points and lost.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's out of bounds. It's not a 6 at least.
Like the defense has been a problem since 2016. People believe the lie of 2017 of, we got a top 10 defense. We've never had a good defense.
Did that count? Is he out?
He's out of that.
It's a pick, but it's not a touchdown.
And it's like, and then people get mad.
It's not even Ryan's fault. It bounced off OZ's hands.
Yeah, it's stuff like this. It's not an offensive issue.
Ryan
he's had like 5 interceptions. He's had 5, I think I'd say.
He has 10 picks this year, and 5 are off people's hands.
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, it's just luck.
JC Jackson's just
but the same argument was made, right? 2017. We played the Dolphins. The only players they had was Jarvis Landry and Charles Clay, and we lost to Jay Cutler, who just unretired.
You had to bring up that game because that
game. How about the phantom?
That game was a carbon copy of the Super Bowl game, and it was the week. It was
but
the week
before.
Have
never been that close.
No, I mean
the Bills that year were decent, but
that's one of my. That's one of my 5 worst games of the last 5 years.
What I'm saying is there was a phantom fumble when the Falcons were just trying to milk clock at the end of the game.
But
that's like, but it was
that's my problem.
A pass.
We beg for stuff like that when it's like the defense should step up and shut down bad offenses.
We should also expect the refs to do their job right.
No,
that's why.
I don't.
That's why getting another shutdown corner opposite Terrell. So that this pass rush, these schemed pressures that Pease wants to run, he can have more flexibility to run them because he's got 2 corners.
Shit to the middle of the defense. I'm with you on that. And then you have to build up the middle, but you got to get rid of Deion Jones.
So that's why in my
he
perfect
is not the
world,
linebacker you need. He's so soft right now. You got to get rid of Deion Jones.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I've been saying it all show here.
He's wasting money.
Yeah, it's he hasn't been the same since 2017. It's
restructure
and people
him,
finally seeing it,
extend
and people
Brady.
finally seeing it when he doesn't make the highlight play. Like everyone loved him because he made the highlight play.
He showed up in pass coverage.
Yeah,
like,
and
now he's still showing up in pass coverage, but he's still not stopping the run.
LSU linebackers don't fail.
They don't fail.
Jones failed.
Yeah, Duke Riley didn't fail at all. He's a special teams ace right now.
Y'all don't know anything, clearly.
Y'all don't know anything.
Hey, he's a special teams captain, bro.
Wait.
He's a special teams maven. He didn't fail. He didn't fail.
Hey, they say NFLSU. What do they say about UGA, Jake?
I'm not a UGA fan, so I don't know what you're trying to say.
What'd you
I
say?
said Jake.
This is just
okay.
What'd you say?
They call us NFLSU. What did they call you?
So Quadri Allison, 9
points
carries,
above
34
playoff.
yards. Mike Davis has only had 3 carries.
I think Mike Davis is getting a message.
They're gonna cut him in the offseason to save
or they cut him now and save money.
Yeah,
Mike Davis signed a 1-year deal.
It's 2.
No, he is a 2-year. Yeah, it's unfortunate because hopefully I wish they would have given. I mean, be beating a dead horse so that Patterson would be under contract, but they didn't, and so they're going to have to take the $2 million or so of savings of Davis being cut, and hopefully can get something worked out for Patterson because we're seeing how important he is in this offense just today alone.
I think they need to draft Brian Robinson in like the 6th round because he can do everything that Patterson can do. And
I do want a running back. I'd even go shooting higher than Brian Robinson. I like Brees Hall,
I like
Spiller.
that, Scott. I like that a lot, Scott. Actually, I think that could work a lot, and I think that like anybody who drafts a running back. I meant to say this to Eric, but my Wi-Fi was messing up. Anybody who drafts a running back in the first 3 rounds, including my favorite team, I mean, it's just dumb. Just dumb.
It doesn't make sense to draft a running back high. Take a guy in the 4th through 7th every single year. And then once their rookie contract's done, let them walk.
I'd say the 4th is the sweet spot.
Same kind of guys.
4th is the sweet spot.
Same kind of guys. Every year.
I disagree.
Every year and draft them with comp pick spots.
Don't give them a second contract. Because I said Jonathan Taylor was the best running back in that class. But everybody was like, oh, he's got like 400 carries. I'm not giving him a second contract. I don't care about his carries, but Jonathan Taylor is arguably a top 2 running back in the league right now.
Here's the thing.
I mean, I was a huge Devontae Williams fan. I would have taken him at 35.
Look at who's at running back for the Patriots right now. Look at where they took that.
Stevenson, 4th round.
Yeah.
Damian Harris. What was Damian Harris? A 3rd round though?
Damian was a first or second.
No, I think Damian was a 3rd.
I like what Jared is saying. I would rather draft a running back in the 2nd round.
Yeah, I mean, it's what he said. Don't give him a second contract.
Never.
If Damian was a 3rd rounder.
Every 4 years, I know my 2nd round pick is going to be a running back.
Maybe
it doesn't even have to be that, Jared. I wrote this.
Second or 3rd. Like I think that's
2nd or 3rd. Maybe franchise him, and then after that franchise tag.
No way.
I'm not.
The franchise tag isn't high for a running back.
I agree, Jared. I agree. I wrote about it months ago that you should draft a running back every single year. Every single year in like the 6th or 7th round, and you'll never be without a running back. And never give them a second contract, and it'll be fine. Don't worry.
Are you kidding me?
And honestly,
this defense, man.
My contrarian perspective, wide receivers are the same thing as running backs now. It's not any different. Think about how many receivers are coming out. Everybody was like, "Oh, Julio's the best." You got AJ Brown. You got DK Metcalf. Like, you got all of these guys who have come out in, like, are similar builds. You got plenty of Calvin Ridleys. You got Tyreek Hills. Like,
Receivers are a dime a dozen.
The one argument I will say for wide receivers and running backs is you got to think about like the chemistry for a running back in any offense. It really doesn't matter, but chemistry from a quarterback to a wide receiver standpoint, it does matter. It really does matter.
Why finding a guy who's a carbon copy of Roddy White or Julio Jones is ideal for what this offense needs. Which is why I would rather take a John Mechie in the second.
Kyle Pitts is literally Julio Jones.
Kyle Pitts is like Julio
Jones, but he's
Julio.
Kyle Pitts is
literally Julio.
Calvin Johnson and Julio Jones and like
those three.
But as much as I like Calvin Ridley, he's Harry Douglas. If we're being honest, in this scheme, he's
not wrong.
In this scheme,
he's not wrong.
He's Harry Douglas. We don't have the Roddy Wright. We got the Julio and Kyle Pitts. We got the Harry Douglas. We don't have the 6'1" guy.
Here's where, to your point, Jared, about
the possession guy.
It's Arthur Smith wants a certain type of player, and he's trying to find out if Calvin Ridley can be it, and he's finding out he's not that type of player. Like he wants like an AJ Brown, I guess, opposite Kyle Pitts, but like. I don't know why Kyle Pitts can't be in that role. And if your system and your scheme can't accentuate Calvin Ridley's skills and his ability to beat man coverage, which again, last week they talked about not being able to beat man coverage. And that's
they can't beat it this week.
Well, because they got nobody. They got nobody. I mean, they're taking away Kyle Pitts and they got pretty much the scraps left. I just don't understand how you can't fit Calvin Ridley in your system. I think your system has the questions then. If you can't, like, look, Dirk Cutter.
I think as a coach,
Dirk Cutter, which we can all agree is he's not a good offense coordinator. Dirk Cutter got a breakout season from Calvin Ridley in his offense.
How do I put
Arthur Smith should be able to get the same production.
I think when you have a guy who it's his first time really coaching as a head coach, and we've seen two defensive coaches come in hot, have great seasons, or at least great starts to the season. You know, their first year, they look solid. Mike Smith had a good start to his career in Atlanta. Dan Quinn had a great start to his career in Atlanta, and then they tapered off. Maybe this is the reverse. Maybe we're getting some shit years, and it's going to build. And maybe we just have to trust the process a little bit. But that's me being an optimist, and right now, there's not a lot that I'm seeing on either side of the ball to make me optimistic.
But like,
Scott,
so like, and that's the point
but I'm with you.
That was the point I was making. I was like, think about since we hired Mike Smith and Dimitrov, it was always if we hired a new coach, take what the last coach did and fit it to the system. Take what the last coach did and fit it to the talent.
I just again,
coach who's going to fit to the talent.
But it's like
it sounded like he was doing, but I don't know if I see it.
He's not doing that.
Here's why
I don't disagree, but like also like right. I think Regoni is trying to make Calvin Ridley not AJ Brown but Allen Robinson,
and that's not his. That's not his
game.
I don't know if we can place. I don't know if we can place Regone.
I think Regone doesn't know what he's doing, and he's just kind of coming up with game plans.
I don't think Regone is
just hooking
has
up
that
his
much
boy,
of the
Matt
influence.
Ryan
Like he's
helping.
He
does have the influence. He definitely does. That's not.
He
true.
does. This looks more like Chicago's offense. Having watched
Chicago's
look. If that's true, I think
when
we've
they
got
fire
more
Kyle
problems
Shanahan
than I thought because Arthur Smith should have the heavy influence. And the reason why I was so bullish on this hire was that, again, Jared, hearkening back to the 2016, 2017 glory years where they were at their best, that offense that was being run is what Arthur Smith has been running. I mean, it was a LaFleur and a Shanahan offshoot offense. And, you know, Matt was at his best in it. And that's why I thought this is a good match. And again, you know, we're getting it. We were getting it at times, but for by and large,
I get it. I think like, and that was our thing. Like, I had no expectations for the season. I always said consistently, if they win 8 games, give Arthur Smith Coach of the Year. I don't think they were ever coaching to win. I think they were coaching to see who can embody this vision that we want, right? And I don't think they know what they want exactly, which is why everything's convoluted. This doesn't even look like a Dean Pease defense. He's like, oh, we're 20 to 30% through the playbook. We're 9 games into the season. We're halfway, and we're not even halfway through the playbook. Because this is not the thing with that
too. They don't have the talent to run what he wants.
And I
to
do
run.
think this is going to be a long. Like people wonder about how long is Pease going to be here because he's in his early 70s.
I think he's going to be here.
He's going to be here a couple years. He's going to be here a couple years.
He'll be here 5-6 years.
Yeah, because again,
if Arthur Smith is here 5-6 years, man.
Jared, I was about to say, Jared, that's real.
Yeah,
real confident that you think Arthur's gonna be here.
No,
I mean, as long as Arthur's here, Dean is here, but I think that's about as long as I can give them.
Yeah, we'll evaluate.
They may not
season.
Be here in 5 years together.
All right,
and we may be
looking
schedule,
at the upcoming schedule came up on the telecast. I know I'm behind you guys, but assuming health, do you think they can win? They got the Jaguars, they got the Bucks, they got the Panthers. They got the Lions. They got the 49ers. What are realistic expectations for that stretch?
7 wins.
1, 2.
7 wins.
Just talk me through that. So you're saying 3 and 2 in that stretch. So they'll be 7 and 6.
Jaguars, to the Bucks, beat the Panthers. I think they could potentially go 4-1 if they get healthy and they get Calvin Ridley back and Patterson back.
Best case scenario, they go 4-1. I don't think they're going to get Ridley back.
4-1.
But best case scenario is 4-1. Realistically, somewhere between 2 and 3 and 3 and 2.
2 to 3 wins.
Realistically,
so that would mean
2 that they get, and it's Jacksonville and Detroit.
6 and 9, right? 6 and 9.
They're 6 and 9, and then they go in and they lose to the Bills and beat the Saints at the end. Which, if Arthur Smith
2 wins against the Saints, I guess people would like that.
I will take that every season. If we sweep the Saints and we go 2-16, I don't care about anything else.
Bingo. So that's the thing. If Arthur Smith can get this team 7-10 after going 4-12 last year, that's a 3-win, 2.5 win increase
with no intention.
He beat the Saints for those 2 wins. So I'm happy with that.
You go 7-10, you sweep the Saints, and you don't even have the talent for your scheme. You can't tell me there's no direction.
You can't tell me there's at least no hope. Like there's some hope, and this is without a ton of talent.
Exactly.
I guess where I get the hope again is in the draft because. I didn't get it from this draft class, and again, that was just the takes from the players and who I thought those players were, during the draft. I'm not saying anything about what we've seen from them now, but I didn't think they had a great draft. And Terry is a pro personnel guy. Obviously, finding a diamond in the rough in Cordell Patterson, huge W. Beyond that, I don't know if there's any other free agent acquisitions you can hang your hat on. I mean, certainly they've had to churn the roster, and there's been some, James Vaughters obviously came up with a huge sack in the New Orleans game that was pivotal, but again, it was one play. I need to see an off season that I can really put a stamp on.
I think you're gonna get it. Like you probably got.
I hope so. Usually they say year 2 is when you do it, right? Yeah, like year 1 is like
you got 4 top 100 picks, and you have a very clear picture of the roster that you're dealing with. This is not Dan Quinn, Raheem Morris, Dirk Cutter.
Don't know what the fuck they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't know. Like all they were doing was watching the tape from last year, and it's like, all right, you did this, but I don't know how you fit. Now it's like, cool, you fit, you don't. I know what I need. I know what this is. Like, think about 2015 to 2016. I see it the same way. Like, I feel like everybody was like, oh, Kyle was a quarterback killer. Like, he made that like shit.
I was in that position too, yeah.
And it's I feel like Kyle did the same thing. Kyle said, I'm going to run my scheme. Roddy doesn't fit. And fans were like, you need to throw Roddy the ball. And you had the whole game where it's like, all right, we're going to feed Roddy the fucking balls to show y'all that Roddy doesn't fit. And it's like, all right, we let Roddy walk. We got Sanu, we got Gabriel, we got Hooper. And they were the best offense in the league. And I feel like it's the same way. Like, that's why I don't have an issue. It's like, if your scheme works and you believe in your scheme and you got proof that your scheme works, run it and figure out why.
Do you think Calvin Ridley could be that Roddy White that, maybe in the offseason they ask?
I hope. Like, no. And it's like, he's not I don't have a problem with Calvin. Calvin is a top 10 receiver in the NFL.
I think Calvin is Reggie Wayne.
Exactly. Calvin's Reggie White.
Use him like he's Reggie Wayne. And I think you need to use Kyle Pitts like he's Tony Gonzalez, where he's in the slot half the time and he's in the slot half the time. He's in the tight end role half the time. And
but why didn't we get Ryan, it, Scott, in the first whatever games that he was playing and active for? Like, why didn't we get that?
Because he had some issues mentally, man.
He was out of it.
I think his mental health has been bad since game one, man.
You're right. He just wasn't himself.
Josh Rosen threw one pass and threw a pick six.
Pick six to end it?
Yeah. I definitely played the Patriots defense today.
Oh.
I hope you did. I didn't play anybody that was going against the Falcons because I got this weird superstition that if I do that in fantasy football, I'm guaranteeing the team a loss. But at this point, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, well, damn.
Because I had Damian Harris on my roster.
I was playing against Mac Jones, but the guy just completed a trade for Ryan Tannehill.
You know what's annoying? I have both Matt Ryan and I have Matt Ryan and Young Hoku and all those motherfuckers, and they all failed me today.
0.
Every last one of them failed me today.
Yeah, someone.
But I also
shout out to my Twitter follower that said they weren't going to score more than 3 points. I mean, he was pretty.
That's wild.
Wow. So, I mean, the thing is though, Jared, too, is like I was selling the fact that teams during the Matt Ryan era, they get knocked down the week prior. They're usually competitive the next week. We didn't really see much. I mean, we saw a couple drives.
Kind of competitive, but they just
we saw a couple drives, but
you're never gonna win with Gage and Zacchaeus and Tajay Sharp as your top weapons.
But didn't they have? Was it last year? Or the year before?
Literally,
it was 2 years ago. The Thanksgiving game against the Saints. They had a lot of injuries, didn't they? And they were competitive till the end. I think that was the game that maybe they had like 3 straight on-siders or something.
They also had Calvin Ridley go off that game.
No, that's not the game.
That was the Thanksgiving game with the 2 onside kicks.
I don't believe Calvin went off that game.
It was like 2019.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley went off against the Saints.
I feel like
he still lost.
Like, it's just the roster is so just talent depleted. It's just so bad.
They lost like 26. They lost like 26-18 or some shit.
26-18, yeah.
Calvin Ridley had 8 catches for 91 yards. Christian Blake had 6 for 57. Gage had 5 for 52.
I wouldn't call that necessarily like going off.
Well, he went off.
But they had Ridley, so Ridley is.
That was a Ridley, Gage, Blake group, and it actually did well.
Yeah, Ridley, Blake, Gage, and Jaden Graham was the top tight end. So, like, I don't know.
Dude, another one.
No, he didn't.
Josh Rosen threw another one.
Is that his
Felipe.
That was Felipe.
Oh, that was Frank's?
So we got a pick 6 from Rosen and Felipe. All right.
Yeah.
No, just a pick from Felipe because Gage landed on top of the guy.
Wow.
Why you got to do that, Gage? Why do you got to spoil the fun?
God, man, that was an ugly pass.
We should seriously end this before the game ends in disrespect. We should just disrespect them.
68
to
3. Wow. 68
We should screenshot. We should screenshot this right now, and I mean, this is hilarious. 68-3.
Wait, how do you screenshot on a Mac?
Command Shift 4.
What?
Shift 4. Yep.
Wow. You put up 0.
Is this the new 28-3?
I mean, you give everybody 3 points. Yeah.
That's gonna be my tweet. Well, guys, this was, like I said, this was fun because I couldn't imagine getting through this game.
Yeah, I would have turned this off a time ago.
Otherwise,
thankfully, this game only took
by the way,
legitimately under 3 hours.
Yeah, true.
Under 3 hours, this game is over.
Shutout.
I feel like that's an initiative the NFL is trying to do, because didn't like the last Thursday night game?
Wow.
I think the last Thursday night game was
a shutout.
All right, I'm gonna.
Our faces are pretty pretty funny in this.
I'm gonna do a quick plug because I'm about to go kill some people on Splitgate, and
right,
if y'all
Scott
would like to join me, please come hang out and join me killing some people on Splitgate.
All right, fellas. It's been real.
I don't even know what
fun.
that is, but enjoy it, guys.
I can promise you that.
Appreciate you all.
Have fun.
Jared, nice to meet you, man.
Yeah,
Jared,
you too.
It's great to meet you virtually, man. Thanks for coming
Jared,
on.
if you want, we'll get you
have you on
for
again.
a regular episode because you were great, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, we'll have you maybe
know.
the last Saints hate week, maybe end of season. We'll get you on. We'll talk.
Yeah, just let me
we'll
know.
definitely have you.
A shutout. 25-0.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. Yeah. All right.
All right, fellas.
Yep.
We're signing off. Thanks for tuning in. For Jake, for Alex, I'm Matt Carley. It's been Talkin' Birdy.
That was so sad.
I guess go Falcons. We'll see you next week. Thanks again, guys.
Oh, I'm